Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Tales of Galaean. I am the Galaean, your game master and fearless guide, and today we have another epic chapter for you. Before we get to it, let's graciously acknowledge our lovely players, Guillam, Ali, and Z. Thank you all for being here. Unfortunately, Bonbeesly couldn't make it today, but we'll see her again in a couple weeks. Now, let's get to some recaps, shall we? All right. Let's start us off with Luke.
All right. Hello, everybody. I'm gonna read this off my phone. But for Lucarian's first session recap, is as follows: Of all the falsehoods in this world, the Wanderers Guild surely ranks among the most pernicious. It is a guild populated by fools who drape themselves in pretty words as if by first convincing each other, they can deceive the rest of us into mistaking them for more than what they are. A coalition of peasants and petty graspers, distinguished only by the lengths they will go for a handful of coin. My new companions, the Magus Asuna, the Lady Devai, and an elderly Quoa who inanely introduced herself as Granny, may conceive of themselves as more than armed mercenaries, but I need not share in their delusions. Granny. I blanch to imagine what grandmother would say were she party to my indignity. Watching me debase myself to associate with such people would surely be more than she could bear. But what fortune has stolen from me can only by fortune be restored, and anything the Wanderers Guild demands from me in patience I recoup in opportunity. Here, and nowhere else, lies my path to justice. Here lies my path to everything I am owed. Though I do wish I could see her face each time I address my new companion as grandmother. That would almost be payment enough for living as a lick spittle. Almost. For in this case, the spittle we must lick belongs to a petty bourgeois jeweler named Abel DeMark, a man without pride, who carries himself with the bearing of a snowdrift in summer. Serving a man of such scant dignity that he lived in ignorance of how a person of means should be addressed is yet another sign of how far I have fallen, let alone the mess his errand led us into. Hired to courier a necklace to one of DeMark's patrons, a lady named Rosamond Walleth, I ably led our party to her temporary place of residence, a vulgar tavern called the Prideful Pet. Mistakenly believing that grandmother and Lady Devai could manage to carry the necklace the final few feet without my oversight, I foolishly remained below while they delivered the necklace to the lady, who promptly vanished without a trace, though fortunately not before rendering us our payment. Our business concluded, I was happy to depart, but we were impeded by the innkeeper. Clearly aware of the losses he faced by his customer fleeing her sizable bill, the man accused us of her murder. Without proof, he could not keep us, but it is yet more evidence of the proletarian pursuit of coin at any cost which has so plagued my life. The man made great noise about an investigation and charged us not to flee before giving us parole, but it will amount to little. Even were I guilty, it would take more than a discontented barkeep to cause my ruin. If that were possible, I'd never reach this God's forsaken city in the first place. Still, it would be wise to pour oil on the waters before the matter gets out of hand, for I know not who drowns their sorrows at the man's tawdry establishment. Should he bend the ear of someone with bearing, we might face more scrutiny than would be healthy for me. Investigating the merchant DeMark would be a prudent first step. Fortunate, then, that at the first sign of pressure, the jeweler should melt like butter before a flame, especially if I can convince the Lady Devai to menace him. For what she lacks in deportment, she clearly compensates with a propensity for violence. It should be a simple matter to end this affair and return to the concerns that truly mean something. I only need to push forward.
Jeez. Well, well done. Nice
That
recap.
was
Nice,
so
very.
good. Oh my god.
Our very
Thank
first
you, thank
recap
you.
was trial by fire. I'd like to say, very well done. All right, Asuna.
Such a high bar that I cannot.
Oh, good. I'm next.
That-
Asuna, what did you?
Mine's not nearly as dramatic.
Thank
but
you. I
still-
appreciate that.
So my little recap. So today marked the beginning of my journey, venturing into the realms of magic and adventure with my newfound friends, in quotation marks,
Scary.
from the Wanderers Guild. Very interesting group of people. We'll see how I guess I fit into that. Our first quest was a mundane necklace delivery for a local gemstone store. The store owner was too afraid to deliver this himself. And it seemed not like a big deal, wasn't an expensive necklace or anything, but it was a little unexpected turn when two of my friends, these people I just met, whatever, they went to deliver it, and the lady vanished. So I was not anticipating that. And then also the inn that we went to, the owner, the barkeep, he was a council member, and it felt like I was meeting like a legend, kind of in awe of him, had a strong magical aurora, and yeah, definitely not what I expected for the first day of adventuring, but I'm excited to see what happens next. And I think we got a promising group. I'm not gonna put everybody off yet,
Yeah, not like some.
but yeah, we'll see what happens. So.
All right. Very well done.
Yay!
Excellent. All right. That leaves us with Z and Devi.
Woohoo! You're muted.
Good start. Love it. Love the sound.
Nice.
That's fine. No, that's all part of
That's
of it.
the dramatic.
It's all part of the plan.
It's definitely dramatic.
Mhm.
What am I even doing here? Ephraim Ryzen knockin'. I remember how my father would mutter the phrase every time some mild misfortune would come his way. My sister and I often would attempt to stifle our laughter at the absurdity of the phrase, especially when it was uttered with such passionate annoyance. Years later, our mother explained to us that the phrase was not chosen by my father due to the ridiculous nature, or at the very least, it wasn't the sole reason, but instead that it was a comfort that reminded him of his parents, or at least of the brief time he spent with them in his youth. It was a phrase loosely translated to let the light dim and rise again. Certainly, the translation does not roll off the tongue nearly as memorably as the original. And now I too indulge in grasping tightly to whatever nostalgia or hope or perhaps naivete the phrase inspires. Will the light truly ever rise again? I've seen the possibility flicker here and there across the past few months, yet sure enough, the spark is snuffed out time and time again and again. Now, not only am I alone, I'm alone and surrounded by the only thing I fear more than being alone: being around people. Oh, and now I'm a suspected criminal too, so that's fun. I can't help but wonder if this was all just some elaborate setup. Did the tortoise lady pull a fast one over on me and nuke the client just to frame me? Has she been compromised? Could the silent quell have put her up to this? I knew that someone being nice and kind should have raised red flags. How could I have been so blind? And then all the strenuous effort I put in to be so nice back. I even learned her name, which I refuse to write now. I even thanked her for the cookies. I must have looked like such an idiot to show such weakness. She played me like an absolute fool. Criminal mastermind. Oh, and what about that Asuna girl? She seemed like she was hiding stuff and biting her tongue the whole time too. Could the quell have gotten to her as well? Don't even get me started on... No, it hurts too much to continue thinking about such things. Perhaps I'm just being paranoid. Perhaps I'm looking at everything wrong. Maybe this is just what a life of adventuring and wandering is about. Perhaps this is what friendship is about. Not necessarily all the stuff about becoming a suspected murderer or being framed by kindly old turtle grannies, but the ups and downs of it all. An emotional whirlwind that you share with others caught in the same gust and gales. The dimming and the rising. A shared experience. Or maybe this is all just bad luck. I don't know, but at least one thing is for sure. I surely need to find out what in the hell's made that lady go poof.
Well done.
That was great.
What a terrific round of recaps.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get started, shall we? I didn't know you guys felt so strongly after that first episode. We all have some strong opinions for such a simple quest, don't we?
Nothing is quite as simple as it seems in Galea, is it?
That's true. You know what? All right. So we left you last time right outside the Prideful Pet Inn in Astralarum, the wonderful, beautiful, magical city of Astralarum, which everybody loves. I believe we are in the district called the Violet Parade, and you had just been told by the innkeeper to stay nearby because there will most likely be some people wanting to talk to you about what happened upstairs. But you're technically right on the street here. What do you guys want to do?
Now, staying nearby, that included just like staying in the city, right?
Yeah, that's what he mentioned, basically staying in Astralarum.
Then I will turn to my companions and suggest we should look into Abel DeMark if the jewelry came from his workshop, and if he has something to do with this, then we should get there before he has time to flee, and if not, we may uncover what happened.
I think that's a good idea. I was going to say, I guess we're technically supposed to stay, just stay in the city. So if we go be productive, then we're still technically following the rules of what he told us. So we won't maybe get in more trouble. So I vote that idea.
You're right. It's within the rules for us to go kick that man's ass. Let's go.
That's not what I said.
I
I
agree.
am loving this energy.
Whatever. Just
Clearly, he put us up to this.
Just go.
You're right. Let's go. There's no time to waste.
And even if he didn't, frankly, I feel he owes us something for times wasted.
It's true.
Absolutely.
Off to another strong start of hating all NPCs. A hallmark of every campaign that I've run.
It's not our fault Abel DeMark made us his marks.
Oh my goodness. Yes, that's right. It's not so much a D&D show as an opportunity to put a bunch of puns out into the...
As it should be.
As it
I'm
should
sorry, I'll do better. It was the same pun I did last time. So.
It's my fault for such low-hanging fruit. You gotta take it. You gotta take it.
Well, enough dilly-dallying. Let's go make some violence happen for the people.
For the people.
Words first,
Maybe, yeah.
violence second. I doubt very much.
Use your words.
Well, I
My
doubt
words
very
are
much
let's go
the
make
man will,
violence, and then yes,
have
then the
much of a
violence.
spine,
I
so.
agree. We should shout at them while we violence them. Make sure there's words exchanged, so they know why.
Yeah, let's go beat up an old man. Okay, so you guys make your way back out of the Violet Parade and back to Hilltop. It really was only about an hour, maybe an hour and a half since you were there last, so it's pretty easy to go backtrack your way back up through that part of Astralarum. It's probably about maybe a little bit past lunch now, maybe around 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Yeah, and you make your way back up to Hilltop, back to Northern Gemstones and more, where looks pretty much the same. You're right outside the door.
Is the shop still open from what we can tell?
Yeah, it's all boarded up, and he says, no wanderers allowed. No, yeah, it's exactly. He's like, see, so long, suckers, it says on a pin.
Bye.
Bye. No, nope, you even look inside through the window, and you can see Abel in there just tinkering away at something at his workbench.
He's trying to maintain his cover. That's his first mistake.
Yeah, he should be brandishing a knife. That's way less suspicious.
Yeah, totally.
Well, now let's divide. Let's talk to him first. But I promise, if he needs to be hit, you can hit him as much as you wish.
I don't know if I'm in the right mindset to go inside with you. I'm gonna wait outside. If he flees, you know what's gonna happen.
You can catch him.
Okay.
He's old, so he shouldn't be moving that fast.
Sure.
Then how about this? We'll go inside. You stand in the window and glower through it, so we can point at you. And then
we'll give you the sign.
Yeah, we'll give you the sign for you to come in.
You know?
Don't make me sicker on you. Look at that glower.
I like this.
Yes.
I like this plan.
That sounds acceptable.
All right. Who opens the door?
I guess I'll open it.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Sure.
Then I will walk through grandiosely, like I am used to having doors open for me.
She like opened the door for you, basically. That's what you took it as. She's about to go in, but then you like kind of cut in.
Yeah, I just stride in.
I like that.
Okay. Luke struts into Able to Mark's business, and he looks up at you and sees you, and I'm assuming you don't have a smile on your face. What's the look on your face, Luke?
Master DeMark!
Oh, okay. He's like, oh, the Wanderers, you're back. How did it go with Mrs. Waller?
Oh, it went most ill, sir. Most ill indeed.
What? Ill, you say?
Ill indeed, yes. We gave her, well, we found her. We returned her necklace to her, and she paid us. Everything went smoothly. But as soon as she put the necklace on, she vanished, sir. Like, into thin air.
She left the establishment? Well, I mean, she did pay you, correct?
Oh, she paid us, yes.
Is there something amiss?
That's what I thought, right? Like everything was fine, but
she just left the inn. I don't understand what the problem is.
No, she vanished into thin air, like as if you see me right before you. Then she was gone.
I like to think that like poof! A student in the background's like. Abel, finally you see the gears like turning, like she disappeared. She vanished.
Yes, into thin air.
Oh my dear.
And I am very much afraid the innkeeper believes you may be responsible for her murder.
Murder?
Yes.
Oh dear. That wasn't supposed to. I don't understand. I don't understand what you mean. Are you? What? Tell me what happened. Well, he's like puts down his stuff. He's like very like you can tell he's very rattled.
As simple as I've said, sir. She put on the necklace you worked on and then just vanished into thin air. So by all appearances, possibly dead.
Oh,
and the innkeeper believes you may be responsible.
That's terrible. Tell me what she said right before she left. What did she look like?
Oh, just her normal self. Perhaps a little nervous or a little flighty. She seemed that sort of sort, I believe. Hang on. Would Luke know that? I don't know that he...
No. You weren't up there.
Oh, she went...
Neither of us would know
looked like
that.
her normal self, sir. You know, there was no sign of any trouble until she put on your necklace.
She was her normal self? She was rather worried when she dropped off her necklace. Was she feeling in better spirits before you gave it to her?
Oh, as you say, her normal self. Rather worried.
Can I be? I imagine I'm like I pound on like the back of the door, and I'm just like, is he gonna make a run for it?
You're saying like through the door?
Like through the window, like I like knock on the window, like into they just hear the muffle. Is he gonna make a run for it?
No, he's not making a run for it.
You could tell like through the glass.
What?
He's just like petrified. He's like totally not going anywhere. He looks like a runner. Get him.
Forgive my companion, Master DeMark. But you see, it's her responsibility to remand you into custody should you try to flee. And we left her outside. She's a little overeager in the pursuit of her purposes.
What do you mean remand me into custody? You're not part of the guard?
You have some serious questions you have to answer, Mr. DeMark,
well,
about the provenance of the necklace and what you might have done to it.
Well, certainly. I have some information, I'm sure, but you're not the town guard.
We've been contracted. Would you believe it?
Deception.
Oh, I need to actually open up my character sheet. I apologize.
You're ready to give me shit, but not ready to like lay
Not
down the
actually ready to back
foundation
it up.
of
No,
backing it up.
That is the eternal struggle of my life.
Let's see.
1 second. 2-factor authentication.
I like to imagine this happening in the thing. Wait,
He's
okay,
like, hold
one
on
sec-
1 second.
Would you believe it? We've been contracted. Just 1 second.
Just 1 second. A little birdie is
Yeah,
sending
just
me a
let
note.
me,
a six-digit
stall a
note
little
from the
bit.
bird.
Okay, I'm into D&D Beyond, and I'm very professionally and preparedly opening up my characters.
It's
I'm
good to do
agreeing to
about
cookies.
20 minutes into the game.
Yeah.
That's a
You're
good,
killing-
that's a
you're
good
killing
time. It's like a
Rachel,
sweet,
so.
sweet
Am I
spot.
loading? All right. And can I roll it on the character sheet in D&D Beyond, or does
Yeah,
it
deception's just a straight roll.
Awesome.
All right. He believes that you have been commanded by the council, I guess, to bring him in. He's like, I don't understand. I have to go out there with all those
Yes.
people.
Yeah, and I'm afraid my friend's duty will be to drag you, kicking and screaming if she needs to. But Master DeMarc, we're friends. I recognize your noble demeanor the moment I laid eyes on you.
I
and
have
I
nothing
wish-
to do with it. You understand?
wish-
He like
Of
kind of
course,
like
of
leans up
course.
to you, grabs up into your shoddy frayed lapel, and he's like, "You must understand. I only fixed the necklace for her, the one that she brought for me. I had nothing to do with her disappearing. I knew the necklace was magical, but we're in the magical city. I get magical necklaces all the time.
The Clarion will
Please,
kind
please.
of, with a poorly concealed look of disgust that perhaps Abel doesn't actually recognize in his distress, he will kind of pry his hand off of his
He
lapel.
knows disgust. He knows disgust pretty well, I'd say.
I'm going to say he tries to hide it. It's just like get his hand off my lapel. But I'll say, Master DeMarc.
Wait a second. If either you look disgusted or you can roll to pretend that you don't look disgusted.
All right.
Oh, at the same moment, could I? Because I feel like if I see him touch, he grabs his lapel.
He's kind of like, yeah, like, oh no, please.
I would
don't
bust
want
in
to go
the
out
door
there.
at that point.
It's not aggressive. Just so we're both clear. It's not like you
I
wouldn't
don't-
mistake this
yeah.
for an attack. Just so we're clear.
Okay.
Like this is not this guy. This guy does not look. He's like an elderly man, so he does not look like he's. He's attacking Luke. He's like pleading with him. He's obviously the takeaway is, wow, Luke said something to this guy, and now his cage is rattled.
Okay.
You can still move in when I grab the lapel, but just so we're clear, it's not like
depends on how
you're not protecting
close-
Luke.
Yeah, like how.
At best, you're protecting Abel. In this case, by jumping in. Do you still want to jump in or no?
How far is the window from what's going on, right? With this,
12 feet, maybe 15 feet. You can see it pretty clearly. You probably are not hearing every word that Luke is saying. You can kind of pick up some body language, but his back's to you for the most part, the way I'm imagining it.
Yeah, his back's to me.
Abel's sitting at was sitting at like a counter, and to the side is like his workspace.
Okay.
And then he's got like kind of rows of stuff. And then people walk in so he can turn and see through the window if people are coming in, or if it's trouble, he can like get out of the way. So he's normally his face is like to the door and the window through the
I got you. Yeah, I feel like it would be clear that it's not an attack from that distance.
His face you wouldn't even need like a perception check. He looks pretty erect. Luke, if you're trying to not be disgusted and not show it.
It's less disgust. It's more that Lucarian doesn't like his clothes being touched. So he would like to just prise his hand kind of off his lapel. It may be shabby, to use your rather cruel statement, GM, but it was a fine make.
Yeah, it was nice, but it was frayed, right?
Yeah. Some might say frayed. Some might say it has character.
Well worn and comfy. It's
Love.
Love.
It is love.
Well loved, yes.
Well loved. I'm sorry. He grabs your well loved lapel and remarks internally about, wow, this is a man who really cares about not the nicest things, but the most well-loved things. And he grabs onto your lapel, and then instead of doing like a check, you want to just kind of like gently grab his wrists as you're talking and pull him off you. Is that kind of
Yeah,
how?
basically, I kind of want to just,
Yeah.
kind of.
Yeah.
So while he says that, it says, but Mr. Master DeMark, I recognize your noble bearing the moment I laid eyes on you, and I have no desire to see you come to harm or cause you any distress. Believe me, sir, we are on your side.
You must believe me. I had nothing to do with harming that woman. I only tried to help her.
Help her how?
By fixing her necklace as soon as possible. She was insistent that I put it ahead of all my other work.
Did she say anything else when she gave you the necklace, or you said you recognized it as magical?
Certainly, I was working with it closely for a number of weeks. It's hard to not pick up some faint traces of magic.
Do you know what kind of magic it might have been, or?
I'm sorry. I'm not trained in the arts. Perhaps your friend here might know more, but I have no idea. I just could feel the difference between a well-crafted piece of jewelry compared to a well-crafted piece of jewelry with inherent magical properties.
So if the magistrate were to ask, you might say that this is your statement. The lady was in some distress for a cause you know not. To ask you to very urgently fix this necklace, which you later determined to be magical in some way. And at the end of, once it was repaired, at the end of that, you hired us to courier it over to her in exchange for the remaining payment.
As soon as possible. I would never have hired the Wanderers Guild to deliver it had not been my nephew and getting into the little scrape he's been into. I couldn't take it over myself, of course, because of my condition. He kind of points outside. Look out there. Look at it. And I knew how important this was to Miss Wallace. I tried to make it as urgent and as pleasant for her as possible.
Can I do an insight check on what he's saying now?
Which part specifically, just so I know?
Specifically, when I say that when I give him his version of his statement, where I'm saying that he's just working on the necklace and didn't have anything to do with it, like he didn't mess with it in some way.
You're just saying like all the facts he said, is he trying to say?
Yeah, is the
whole statement true?
Or does it feel like he's lying at some point? Does it feel like he's hiding something? Is what I'm trying to determine. Like, is he genuine when he's saying that he only worked on the necklace, or I'm trying to suss out if maybe he's trying to hide that he tweaked it or something? Or
sure, go ahead and do insight.
Sure.
For all you could tell, it seems like, he looks pretty shaken about you taking him outside, and it sounds like he is interested in getting you to hear everything he has to know. It's not 100% like truth or not, but I can't imagine a lot of what he could be lying about, the way he's like saying it and like pleading with you on his facial like expressions.
Okay,
that makes sense.
Okay. No, it does. I'm gonna ask. So you said the lady was in some distress. Did she say anything about why the necklace mattered so much to her, or what attachment she had to it?
She just seemed incredibly anxious, like she was late for something. It was. I assumed it had something to do with her necklace, but since she was insistent on getting it fixed as soon as possible, but I busied myself with getting the necklace finished as soon as possible and getting her on her way.
And the workshop where you repaired the necklace, did anyone else have access to it? I presume you locked it up. Was it only you? Your nephew, you said, helped you with tasks?
But truly, my nephew, by this point, I believe, he's not saying this, I'm saying this. Yeah. By this point, my nephew had already gotten into his troubles and was not near the near the shop at that point. And Dai, as you can see, he kind of points to there's like a door behind him, basically. This is like where, like if he does see trouble, he would like book it through that door and lock it. You can tell it's like a really sturdy door behind him. This is the front part of the shop, and there's some stuff, some jewelry out there, but he motions back there. He goes, that's where I keep everything safe, especially for my customers. Nothing, no repairs would be kept out in the open at the end of the night or anything.
Would you mind if we examine the space really quick? Just check it for any lingering magical effects or anything like that.
He's like, well, so it's quite unorthodox, but if this perhaps subverts me from going out into the open, he looks out there, and then there's like a woman walking by behind Devi, like walking by, and she's got like an apple in her mouth, and he's like, oh god. If this means I don't have to go out there, then certainly.
I assure you, Master DeMark, your cooperation can only help you.
Extra points for keep calling him Master DeMark, by the way. Like keeping up the charade.
That is how a man of wealth, a craftsman, an artisan should be referred to.
Yeah.
Sure. Maybe. Maybe. Mr. would probably also work, but yeah, we'll take it. I'll take it. So he kind of he's already off his stool that he was working on the jeweler with after he grabbed your lapel, and he's like kind of released it, put your hands down, and he's like, of course, follow me. So he goes and walks a little bit off to the side, off to his left, and lifts up. There's like a the part of the table where it lifts up and ushers you in. He's like, just let me get this door unlocked, and he shuffles with some keys that it's taking a while. He's obviously, no, this key, I believe it's, oh no, and he like jingles with it. He finally finds the key, puts it into the lock after an interminable amount of time, and starts opening the door, and he walks in and then waves to you, and he's like, come on in.
We follow, and I'll kind of look to Asuna and be like, this. I'll try to convey through a look like, hey, this is your cup of tea. I don't know magic to save my life.
Well, I guess I have a question.
Yeah.
Earlier, so like, I saw the necklace earlier, not necessarily obviously when they delivered it. So I guess you
saw it when he showed it to you at the shop when everybody was here last time. He opened it. I don't think you were very close, so I think all you did was get like kind of a look at it.
Yeah. So I guess it's like my question or my thought is like, would I have realized or known with like whether how like close in proximity or like whatever I saw of it, or like based on my current state or knowledge or whatever, would I have known or even have like an inkling that like something was up with it, whether positive or like negative magic? I don't know if that's like a question that can be answered.
Even best case scenario, it's kind of I wouldn't say it's a stretch, but like I don't mind you being like a wizard and knowing magical thing. Oh, this is magical or not? Maybe not knowing specifics. That's fine.
Yeah.
Like I don't think that would fly. But in this case, you didn't even hold on to it. Like I'm trying to find a way where you kind of came in contact just by looking at something you probably wouldn't know right off the top of your head. Oh, that's magical. That's it doesn't make sense without you kind of getting in on it.
Yeah.
Obviously, things like out in Astralarum, there's like floating lamps and very magical things that you can see.
Obviously magical.
Right.
Things.
Sure.
Yeah.
This was a necklace that did not seem incredibly magical, and even if it was, I can only probably let that fly if you even if you had the case in your hand.
Yeah.
I don't think you held it. I think it was Devi and Luke.
No, I didn't. I don't think I did.
So, and then you didn't go upstairs.
No, I was down.
The magical person did not go upstairs.
No.
So it's probably not. Probably not.
Yeah.
Normally, I give you like an Arcana check to tell me what you know about that. This seems like a stretch.
No, I agree with you.
Unless you can think of a place where you get close to it, or something I'm missing or forgetting.
No, I think I agree. I think you're spot on. Anyway, so he shows us his little like safe back area, whatever. With the this is all the other client stuff. Is that what you
So
said?
you haven't gone in there yet. You're still in the main
Or
room.
about to.
You're
He's
technically, you
still-
guys are still on the other side of the counter right now. He's lifted
Oh,
up the
okay.
counter thing, you know? He's
Yeah.
like, come in. He's like fumbling with it. But then Luke, I'm assuming maybe you did like kind of a like you go first kind of deal, or like, or
Yeah,
I don't know, Luke.
certainly.
Yeah, is that
I
kind
mean,
of,
I'm gonna examine the space to see if there's like any
Right,
signs
but-
I could find of like 4th century or something. But
Mhm.
yes,
but you're letting her go first. Is that
Yes,
was the
yes.
assumption?
I'll go
Okay.
first, yeah.
So you, I guess, haven't moved anything yet. I did want to ask Devi. You're seeing, obviously, there's some motion going on in there, and it looks like they're going into this other room. Do you still kind of look? You're muted. Do you think you're still going to wait out there?
At first, does the old man walk away without
It's
them following
Master
him?
DeMarc to you.
I know. Does the
I
old
love it. I
does
just
the
love it. Now.
old
It's like I use it.
master man?
The old master man.
Does the old
That's
master
better.
man?
Lord,
He
he has a
does
name.
Old man. I know. I said. it.
Old man. I said it.
Old man
Master
DeMarc.
old
It's
man.
like
Old master
Pokemon, where
man.
it's the old
Old-
man that shows you how to catch Pokemon, and that's literally his name.
Is his name? Yeah.
Oh my god.
Old
Anyway.
Ben Kenobi. So he walks away, Master DeMarc.
He basically turns right now. He's turning his back is to you. Everybody's back is to you because he's turned to a door that's on the back wall to your right,
He's
basically.
moving towards the door.
He's already at the door and he's fumbling with the keys and kind of putting a key into a lock at this point.
Yeah, I'm coming inside.
Okay.
So yeah, I would not bang down the door, but open the door a little quickly.
Forcefully? Like,
Forcefully.
Forcefully.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, say, hey, is he making a run for it?
Oh my goodness.
not yet, Devi, not yet. But
Not yet,
Yeah, I guess
appreciate your
everybody-
vigilance.
Thank
Turns
you
ar-
for being vigilant.
Everybody turns around to the tornado that just blew into the shop. He's like, oh, you're here too. I'm assuming, everybody like now is kind of in the shop at this point.
Yeah.
Yes. No, I was only showing your companions where I keep.
What is he doing? Why is he speaking like that?
He needs to. Have
He's
a moment.
definitely
Just
rattled, so that's a good.
Go
pickup.
ahead and take a moment to breathe, Master DeMarc. Just relax. It's like,
Oh, thank
my
you.
friend,
Deep
is
breaths,
very
deep
sad.
breaths.
Is this a trick?
No.
No, it's just.
That's just how he is.
It's just his
don't-
jam.
I don't understand.
It's
He's-
all right. We'll
he's-
give you the sign if you need to apprehend him. We've let him know.
Is he? Is he?
He's getting like more and more worked up the more you guys talk.
Is he paying for it?
He drops the keys on the ground. He's like,
Everybody just take a deep breath. Whoa.
No, Master DeMarc, we told you we're your friends.
Casting
You-
a spell?
No.
not how to breathe. That's for sure. He's failed that.
Yeah, that was.
I don't recognize this fighting stance.
It's his family style, I believe. But, no, he's cooperating, Devi. It's quite all right, but I promise.
Fighting style of his ancestors.
Yes.
Yeah. You
please.
take one look at Master DeMarc and you think he comes from a long line of strong ancestral fighters. He's like trying to pick up the keys and fumbling on the ground. He's like, outside, I don't want to.
You don't have to go outside. We're gonna stay inside. Don't worry.
So if he can't
We
pick
just
up
want to
his keys,
see
can
what you're gonna show us.
I bend down and pick them up for him?
Sure, yeah, you pick it down. You pick it down.
Which one, Master DeMarc? Which one?
He's like trying to he's like messing with them in your hand. I guess you got like the ring, let's say, and he's like, they all look the same. I think it's this one. And he kind of picks it up out of your hand and he kind of like turns, he takes it from you, like he pulls it. Is that all right? You're not holding on to it like, give me.
I mean, I was gonna put him in my pocket, but
You're
you know,
real-
I'm not gonna force the issue.
You're like, yeah, we're here to bring you in, and you're just like putting all like the other jewelry from the rest of the in your thing. You're like, this is all part of what we need to do here. This is evidence.
Look,
Yeah.
it's not so much about making plans as it's you know, making the door open for opportunity. You know.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. That won't backfire at all.
No,
Don't
not
worry
at all.
about that at all. No.
No.
Okay. So
So to answer your question, no, I don't resist him taking the keys back.
what a nice guy. What a real gent.
We're his friends. Yeah, as I said.
Yeah.
This feels like
We're
another
looking at-
deception roll to me. The way this is going. Yeah, so he turns around with a key, he puts it in the lock, and it works. He's like, you can almost hear him sigh. The relief just and he's like, yes, I get to go further back away from the streets. Excellent.
Before he
Hey.
walks in, I'm gonna put my hand on his shoulder.
Yeah, he opens the
say-
door and it kind of opens, and as he's gonna turn, like you could put like your hand on his shoulder.
I'm gonna
in
say,
judgment.
now stand here, Master DeMarc. My friend Devi will keep an eye on you, and I look over at Devi, who I presume is giving him the worst stink eye of his life.
Let's see it, Z. What does it look like? Oh my
At this
god.
point, she realizes that he's a doddering old man.
Oh, you're not gonna torture him like Lucas? Oh, that's
Yeah.
Oh my
interesting.
God.
I thought this was torture a poor defenseless old man who's done nothing but give you a job day.
And frame us for murder.
Frank. Okay. Anyways.
Yeah.
Look, it's not our fault. We need to get information out of him. You know, if we need to handle him a little roughly, well, he should have had a bit more of a spine. This shouldn't have been so effective.
Wait. Are you saying that out loud? Or are
No,
you
of
just
course
saying it?
not.
No,
I'm saying that
don't
to
say
you
it out
as
loud.
Willem. I'm
No,
saying
no,
that
no.
to you,
No,
the
no, no.
Galaean, as
Not
Willem.
enough.
Saying
that.
it to his brain.
I don't need to hear it twice. Just once. You know, keep it out in the game. I don't need this. Sure. So you kind of like slow him down from going in. He opens the door. I guess you move out of the way so Asuna can walk by, and then you follow Asuna. And it's like Abel's kind of like in the doorway, but
Yeah, that's
Devi-
fair. I mean,
Devi's
I
kind of
presume
like
he wants to watch us, so we
Right,
don't,
right.
You know.
certainly.
Mhm.
Yeah. So there is maybe a room the third the size of the room you were in, maybe a little bit bigger than the area behind the counter, basically. It is there's all kinds of boxes. It's kind of all over the place, but there's obviously some sort of like sorting system. There's a bunch of like more jewelers tools and all kinds, another set of stools, things like that. There is in the back part, like you'd have to like in the opposite corner, let's say, is another doorway, door basically.
Where does this other door lead to, Master DeMarc?
And it goes, oh, that leads out back to the alleyway, of course.
Before we leave, we should look into the alleyway. But
You say to Asuna?
just aloud to the group. But yes, to Asuna.
Did you just
Yeah,
make
I
this
do.
character to monologue just to like,
No.
everyone listen to me?
I feel like I need a placard that is when I'm talking is me and when I'm talking is Lucarian. I can switch back and forth.
Yeah.
No, that was in character as Lucarian to
Okay,
the
good.
group.
Good.
Well, I don't know. I feel like we should check it because, you know, nothing against him, but I don't know if I believe him because he could just be saying that because he's like afraid about going outside. So like,
Well, in
I don't
case
know.
there was someone who messed with the necklace, or if you find any sign of tampering, or if we find any sign of break-in, there might be like footsteps or something out in the alleyway, or you know some sign of who the person was. So we
Yeah.
should check this space first. But
Okay. That was all in player speak instead of character speak. So
no, that was in character. I was telling Asuna that we should check this space first. and
Okay,
then
okay,
Check
okay,
the
sorry.
alleyway outside. This
Okay.
is player speak.
Got it. My mistake. You do need a placard, I think. Make sure. It's equally
I think
snarky,
maybe-
so it's really hard to tell which.
The problem is Lucarian and I are both catty. Perhaps I need to do a voice like our dear departed Tallulah.
She, if you can make it southern, that would also be great. Do you have
Unfortunately,
cookies?
this is being recorded, so I will not try to do any accents for
You
you.
don't want to do that for posterity?
But next time we see each other in
Fair.
person, I will inflict
Okay.
the full range of my accents upon you, Ryan.
Oh
Pardon.
no. Okay, that sounds like a warning. That sounds like a threat, really.
Sounds like a threat.
A little bit. I thought it was good.
Little
Plus,
bit.
Clearly a threat.
But
Okay.
Lucarian will step back a little bit to. He presumes that Asuna needs to like do magic stuff.
Yeah,
he
so
doesn't
you're
know what
almost
magic
kind of
stuff
like-
would-
you're almost kind of like on the other side of Abel, like almost in the doorway still, basically, right?
Yes. You know, in case
Okay.
she needs to pull out like a dowsing rod or incense
Okay.
or something. I know not the process.
Yeah. Just so it's clear for you, Asuna, that's not really the deal.
Yeah, I
You're-
was
you're
gonna say I
training-
don't have anything.
You
that could
don't
do that.
need to, you're not even that type of, there are magical investigators called theurgists in the world.
Hmm.
And they are like highly trained, you know,
Yeah.
like Aurors in Harry Potter have like, they're
Yeah.
like, this is like another focus of that, but just for investigations and understanding, like,
Yeah.
especially when it comes into that kind of thing. You know that kind of thing takes just years, like it's like a specialist training, like higher, almost higher education in a way. And there's
Yeah.
not that many theurgists in the world. So not everybody would know that. Like somebody just knowing that you're into
Yeah.
magic would be like, oh, she'll take care of it or whatever. But you know, yeah, it takes a lot of like extra learning. But you can, like I said, you can feel it. And if you get kind of, it's not super strong. It's not like you're going to identify. It's not like an identify spell where you just know what it does and how to use it or what to do with it.
Yeah.
It's none of that. It's like a vibe, basically, you know, like a
Kinda
smell.
like-
It's like a,
Yeah,
like an
is it well
odor or
before
a
you had
vision.
mentioned the council member, like I
Mhm.
got like
Yeah,
a
exactly.
vibe from him.
Yeah.
But then, you know, you mentioned obviously there's like the very obvious like magical objects and stuff like that. And then what we're dealing with here is like not it wasn't obviously as obvious. So I guess it's like if you get like if we go in there, you know, I walk in feel like something.
Right. You can just kind of go into an area, and
Yeah.
in Astralarum, you're always kind of feeling it like a little bit because it's just
Mhm.
kind of everywhere.
It's
You're
just-
so close to that
yeah.
obelisk, which is already like radiating that kind of feeling out. So
Yeah.
you don't probably let anybody else know this. You could probably just keep it like, I'm still whatever, but you're already getting a lot of that like vibe or whatever.
Mhm.
But that's not to say that you couldn't, like if you had held the necklace and you asked
Yeah.
me, was it magical? I'd be like, oh, you probably knew it was or whatever. So you still have that ability. It's not going to tell you a lot, you know?
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I guess it's like, would you be able to tell? Like, there's like the base level of being here in the city, like being like,
Right.
okay, like I kind of feel something all the time because we're here in Magical City, whatever. But then, you know, if we go in here, even if it went up even like a little bit, I guess I'm asking is like, would I be able to tell?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think it's also there is like that level of magical, like say radiation or the vibe or whatever. But you've also been here like a large portion of your life, so it's almost like background noise to you in a way. You can kind of see when things, especially if you're trying to focus on it now. Now you know your job is to like look for something. You might be a little bit more in tune with what's going on. Does that
To
make
be
sense?
able, yeah, to be able to like tell if it's there, do I have to like do a roll? Or
Yeah,
do I
you're right now you're just kind of standing in the middle of the room. There's a bunch of there's like it's
Okay.
just like a cluttery mess, you know, to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just like you're in a new place. It's not as bright in there. It's kind of dark. There's only like maybe like a single like little lamp in the corner. There's just not like it's not the same. Since there's so much stuff in there, you're kind of not overwhelmed, but there's a lot to like whatever.
That makes sense.
You can just roll for Arcana, and
Okay.
you can see where that kind of leads us off, I guess.
Let me see. How do I do that again? Oh, there's so many buttons. Can't you do it on the pay?
Yeah, you
The
can do it on your
D&D
D&D
page?
Beyond. It's one of the
Where is it?
skills, maybe near
Should
the
be one at the top.
I
top.
see it, but I thought you just click on it. Wait,
Click on the number next to it.
click on the number next to it. Ah. Oh.
There we go.
Ah,
So I
Okay.
guess I don't.
So yeah, you're not. You don't feel anything distinctly magical in this room.
Mhm.
It just feels like the background radiation of magic.
Okay.
Uh,
Well,
Which is a
guys,
bad way
I
to
don't
put it,
feel
but-
anything in here. I don't feel anything magical. So I feel like if we want, we can check the alleyway. If the master guy, if he is cool with that,
Master
obviously he doesn't
old
want to
man.
go us. Master old man. We can
Old
go. We can go check out there if he's cool with it. Obviously, he probably doesn't want to go outside, so I would say we should probably check.
yeah.
But I feel like that's probably like the next best,
Well,
literal next steps. If he
Master
is.
DeMark, when you repaired the necklace, what was the damage to it? What did you need to repair?
That's a good question.
The clasp in another section was snapped. It basically came in 2 pieces.
And how did you repair it? Did you purchase a new clasp or?
One of the
replace it,
reasons, yes, one of the reasons why it took so long was I had to order another piece of another clasp and to match the one that was broken.
And what did you do with the original clasp?
It might be in my bits. I have a bucket full of old parts that I send down to the blacksmith that get smelted. It might still be down there. Would you like me to look?
If you would be so kind.
Sure. Let's see. Would he have this in the back or in the front? And how long ago was it? Yeah, he probably have it for a while. It's probably in the back. There's probably a bunch of bins kind of down by Asuna's feet. There's a couple, like 3 or 4 or 5, like small bins he points to. Is it like you say you go get it, or what's the vibe?
I mean, so far he seems like he's cooperating
Yeah.
because I have done an excellent job of terrifying him.
Excellent job.
Excellent job.
I'm scared.
So, well, I mean, really, the credit goes to Devi. She's the stick, you know. I'm the carrot. She's the stick. It's a teamwork thing. But since he does seem like he's been cooperating, I will allow him to. But I'm going to be watching him very closely.
Okay, it's like he's pointing like 3 feet away from him, basically on the ground level. So he, you kind of like point, you like kind of, go for it. And yeah, he goes over there and like looks through the bins, like he's pulling ones out, pulls the other one out, and he goes, "Ah, yes, here you go." And he pulls it out and he hands it to you. You, right, Luke?
When he does that, I'm going to motion to hand it to Asuna.
Okay, so he hands it over to Asuna. He's like, "Here you go," and it's kind of like a small wooden box, like maybe this big, not very big at all. And in it are like maybe 50 to 100 like scraps of silver, and like chunks and weird little things and baubles and just broken bits of like cracked silver pieces, basically. It's like filling maybe the bottom part of the box completely. A bunch of janky Legos. The world's worst Legos.
You may be able to, if we can determine which part came from the necklace, we may be able to determine what kind of enchantment lay upon it.
I guess we would need to dig through all of this so then I can at least try to figure out which pieces potentially could have been from it. But I've also, I didn't see it. You guys saw it. Or not everybody else saw it. So it's like.
Does Master DeMark, does he would you recognize
Would he be able to
the piece
recognize?
if you look through Master DeMark?
He like kind of digs his hand through it and he's like, a lot of the pieces just like look the same to him. He's like, "I'm sorry, I can't do it. Please don't take me outside."
No, but you're cooperating, Master Denmark.
I'm
There's
not
no
gonna
need to
take
take you
this.
outside. Just as long as you keep
Hmm.
cooperating.
I'm sorry, I can't tell which one. There's like a bunch of stuff in there. It just looks like a, not quite a trash, but looks like valuable trash pieces of silver.
Can I try to look around the room and see if there's I can see any signs of anything amiss? I mean, I don't really know a jeweler's workshop. Like, why would I ever be back in someone's workshop? You're right. But is there any check I could see? Maybe there's like a sign at the door that something was jimmied, or anything.
Which door are you looking for?
The alleyway door.
Okay, so you walk over to the alleyway door?
Yes.
Sure. Investigation? Not perception, is it? Investigation or perception, either one.
I'm glad you gave me a choice. Neither am I.
I'm a nice DM. There you go, 13. Yeah, definitely the locking system seems even more, it seems as on par to the other door, but there's no signs of any kind of things being bent out of shape or the frame being warped or anything chipped over there. It looks pretty good condition. From it being closed, it's still locked at this point, obviously. So from what you can tell, all of that looks in good condition.
Well, Asuna, why don't you see if you can sense any magic from the scraps, and I will step outside and do my best to investigate the alleyway.
I guess I feel like there's too many. Like we would have to take every piece out.
You could probably do a blanket if you get a nice enough roll. You might be able to needle in a haystack
do I do
situation.
Arcana again?
Yeah, give me a second for that though.
Okay.
Luke, as you're investigating the door, percepting the door, Abel sees you and he's like, oh, did you want to go out into the alleyway? Good wanderer?
Yes, please.
He's like, here, it's this key, and he hands it to you. And he's like, you don't mind if I stay a little bit farther inside, do you?
No, please, stay next to my companion, Devi, if you'd be so kind.
Thank you. He goes over to Vi and gives her a big hug. Save me from the outside. I want to go there. No, he's like, certainly. So he hands you the key. He hands you the key for the lock. And then you start fumbling with that. As soon as now you've got the box in your hand and you're looking at it and you're like, oh boy. You don't have to you don't have to tell anybody this, but you are feeling like,
I know.
Yeah. You don't have to they could still think you're a badass. You don't have to let it out, but you're like, boy, this is going to be tough. Yeah. So let's have a nice Arcana roll and see if we can find this piece. There's something magical in there. You could tell there's something in there, but it's very faint. Meanwhile, you're not really near anybody right now, so you don't have to quite say anything just yet. Yeah. But at this point, Luke, you're kind of open the door, and you're in the alleyway, and you're still in the doorway with the door being open. It opens in. Let's say it opens in, unless I think of it otherwise. The door opens in, and you're still in the doorway.
Okay. I'm going to. Well, firstly, before I step out, can I look and see if I see any signs of footsteps by the door or anything like that, or before I disturb the scene? Is there anything I can see before I walk in, out into the alleyway rather?
Sure. Just do another perception check.
All right.
Now you're looking at the ground, basically outside. Yeah,
I'm just trying to see if it looks like this place is widely traveled, if there was a set of footsteps that came by recently or anything like that, or I'm looking to see how busy a space is this. Could someone have gotten into his workshop and messed with the necklace while he was away?
Right. There's definitely footsteps leading into the shop.
Mm-hmm.
Perception. They look pretty fresh. With the 21, they look pretty fresh.
Do they look like his? I mean, I presume not his. but do they look like halfling sized?
Can I ask why you're asking? They're Weimar in Galea.
Yeah.
Why are you wondering about Weimar?
Because I'm making the assumption that his nephew is also a Weimar.
Is Abel Weimar?
I thought he was.
He was a human.
Maybe his demeanor his stature is so diminutive in Lucarian's mind that I've just assumed he is a Weimar.
He is a human.
Ah, well, then I retract my questioning, sir.
You look at the with the 21, you can tell they're human feet.
Okay.
Human-sized feet, although that overlaps with other races, obviously, but they're not super small or super big, labeled that way.
Not a large type of footstep or a small type of footstep, but a medium type of footstep, you might say.
Yes, that's a much better way of putting it. It's a medium step. It's like
all right. Lucarian thinks back to the detective plays he's seen performed, and like what would a detective do, an investigator? He's gonna call back in the shop. Master Demar, has your nephew been by recently?
no. Abnel's been detained for the last couple of weeks. We haven't seen him since before Mrs. Wallace delivered the necklace.
Why, if you don't mind me asking, why was your nephew detained?
Oh, it was he ended up getting too rowdy after drinks one night, and he got into a bit of a scuffle with another person he had actually been friends with. And they ended up fighting, and he's now in the oubliette for another couple of weeks. It's terrible. He's usually such a good boy.
Abnel, you said his name was?
Abnel, yes.
Okay.
I think. I'm sure that's it.
It's all right. I keep accidentally changing his last name. I remember the master. And
Names are just whatever you want. Old man, young man. We'll call him Youngie, young man.
Master DeMarcus, has
Master young
anyone
man.
come to this door recently to drop off supplies, or I presume you yourself haven't exited through here?
That is actually the door that I do enter and exit through every day.
Every day. Do you live nearby? Do you have a long walk or anything like that?
I live nearby, yes.
What time do you usually make the journey at?
Quite early to avoid any people out on the streets. I stick generally to the alleyways.
And what would you mind me asking, sir? What time do you usually leave the shop at night?
Usually my work takes me until very late at night, which works for my disability.
Very late at night, very early.
Sometimes I do end up sleeping here, and he points to like the corner, and it's like there's like a sad like straw pillow and a sad like blanket kind of wrapped up into a bunch in one of the corners on top of some of the boxes. And it's kind of depressing a little bit.
Looking at the footsteps, do they look like they could be his? Like I can tell they're medium sized. Like, could I look at his boots and like be like, yeah, okay, that roughly aligns.
Yeah, 21 means you probably could tell this guy's. It's a good chance.
Okay. Well, I'm curious about his nephew though, because he's brought that up. I mean, this may be barking up the wrong tree to investigate. This is me, Guillam, rationalizing, thinking what to do. Okay. Asuna, have you had any luck with the trinket?
I can feel a magical aura from it, but there's so many pieces. It's so faint. We'd have to probably go through everything to even try to find it, but that's what I got from that. Could be worth maybe asking him about it, but I don't even know if he would know.
Devi out in the main room. What are you up to out there? Just standing around. You're kind of catching some of this conversation from where you're at. You can tell that there was a door opening back there. What are you up to?
I thought they sent him back out to me.
He's like in the doorway, so you can see him. Let's say you're in the main part of the jewelry shop. You know, there in the back, Luke and Asuna. And basically Abel's in between the both of you, at least for some of it, because at some point he handed the keys over and sometimes he handed the box over, but generally he's kind of like going back so you can kind of keep an eye on him more or less.
Because he went out, Luke went out the back way, so I didn't even see him go out to the alley,
No, you can't see him, yeah, from where you're at.
and then so I didn't see him come back in.
Right now the door's still open and he's technically still, he's like looking at the footprints right now, basically.
Okay, so Luke's still outside. Yeah, I guess I'm still just keeping watch on old Master DeMark.
All right, what's your body language? Are you happy, excited, angry? What's your
Definitely angry, suspicious still.
You still
Suspicious
you're
of
not,
this whole thing just seems wrong in a setup, and yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you're kind of giving off a I'm going to get you, old man. That's your
Not
vibe.
necessarily. I mean, it's less that like she's
Coming
starting to
for
think
you.
like,
I'm
okay,
gunning
maybe
for
the
you.
old man's not trying to fight, but maybe he's wrapped up with this whole conspiracy. That maybe the silent quells behind this still. It's very suspicious. Very like everything just gone wrong so quickly.
Do you think Devi's always suspicious, or is this a situation that has sparked her suspicion more than normal? Or
I'd
do you
say
think
yes.
that's her?
It's suspicious since she's like feels like on the run. So like,
Always, not now,
always.
or always. Okay. So to everybody else, they just see you being normally angry. I guess I don't know. Normally,
Yeah, she'd definitely be brooding.
brooding. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. But internally,
Perfect.
you've got some. There's gears
But
turning.
it's that war of just like is what's actually happening. Don't overthink it, but also be vigilant. Surroundings, at least like listening. Who is anyone coming? That sort of stuff too. So it's like somewhat distracted on what the conversation is, and
Mhm.
more just
Mhm.
like we're in danger. Like something big is going on.
Yeah. All right. I can see what you're doing now. You're brooding, but like, you're gonna get this guy. I just feel like everybody's out to get him now. So.
If not him, then whoever he works for. You know?
Okay. Oh, you're already thinking big. I like it. There's always a conspiracy for level 1 quests. Just everybody's involved. Take this
How,
whole city down.
How is Abel DeMark reacting to Devi like glowering? Does he?
Yeah, when he looks over at her or whatever, he tries to not make eye contact too much
Perfect.
because Devi's pretty. I'm assuming she's pretty
It's
intense.
intense. It's an intense gaze. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and she's already scary just normally.
Perfect. Devi could not be playing her part better if she were cast for it.
Excellent.
It's definitely arms crossed, scolding in that direction, but like eyes also. You can tell they're focused outside. Like it's not fully focused on him if he was to look over. So it's even scarier in a way.
Like almost through him because you're thinking of something else. Wow. All right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right.
But like, no, I'm looking in that direction, so you're not going anywhere. If
No, yeah. Abel's about to pee his pants, I think. That's probably the vibe I'm getting right here.
That's where we want him.
Yeah.
Just where we want him.
Oh Lord. Doesn't
Okay.
surprise me.
but it's also weird for her, because she's not used to seeing people of weakness still. Like it's still weird because they're where she came from, weak people. This sort of like
You had some situations in your backstory that opened you up to the idea. Maybe you're
open,
not used to
yeah,
it.
not still not used to it, right? So it's
Yeah,
still
okay.
like I've seen this once or twice, but is it really?
What is he doing? Is he about to
what is it?
attack? Is this
Yeah,
is this a ploy
exactly.
or whatever? I see. Okay.
Like yeah.
I got it. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Him peeing his pants seems like the ultimate power move, and he's going to lunge at you. I'm sure that's his plan.
I mean, you can't.
Hey,
never
use
know.
everything at your disposal, right?
Yeah. No, but yeah, like it's so unusual that she's only like you experience it. It's like you've seen something 3 times, and you're like, okay, maybe this is just how people are, but is it really? And
Yeah, sure.
if I don't, it's like the whole, you see a hose and you think it's a snake for a split second, but it's not. It's just a hose.
Is that what you think Abel is a snake for a split second?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he's just a hose.
It's just a hose. I'm pretty sure he's just a hose. Okay. So yeah, Devi is playing her part excellently as far as accosting and ruining the old man's life. What are you guys? So Asuna tells Luke about no dice with the silver pieces, and Luke, you kind of turn back into the room to acknowledge what she says.
Mm-hmm. Should I make another roll just to look for anything like Bloody Mary, Hail Mary, out
In this
in
game,
the
it's Bloody
alleyway?
Mary. Yeah, you look up and down the alleyway, and it doesn't look like anything out of the ordinary.
Hmm. And do you know any? I'll leave the alleyway. I'm gonna assume from this point that there hasn't been an intruder. It doesn't seem like there has been. All signs point to him. So the only real leads are possibly his nephew might have something to do with it, but that seems unlikely because that happened before she even made an appearance, unless it's like some crazy conspiracy. I don't know. I'm at a bit of a loss. Master DeMark, do you know anything about Lady Wallace beyond the necklace you repaired for her? Did she mention where she had come from or what she was doing in the city?
No, I hadn't seen her before. I know some regulars, obviously, in the city, but I had never seen her before.
Did she say how she found your services?
She did not, no.
Did she say where you could contact her anywhere besides the Prideful Pet?
That was the only address she gave me.
Well, I'm going to say, well, thank you so much for your cooperation, Master DeMark. We'll need to borrow these clippings from these little repair pieces, so we could figure out which one was the necklace and possibly divine what magic was cast upon it. Unfortunately, it will take time to sift through it, but other than that, I believe we
Who
can...
do you work for?
Oh my god.
No one! Please don't let the purple-haired one hurt me.
No one put you up to this.
I swear to it, I was just trying to help that woman.
Help her how?
By fixing her necklace.
How does that help her?
Has she not been here for all of this? Does anyone want to fill her in?
Can I make
Let's
an
give her a
insight
recap.
check on him?
What do you do?
Can I make another insight check on him
On Abel?
as he's panically saying all this?
Sure, of course.
All right.
What are you looking for this time?
I don't know that it matters, but I was looking for is he telling the truth here? Is he acting? Is he putting on a performance?
He's obviously not. He's joking about giving Devi a recap, but when he gets yelled at, no, he seems pretty worked up. If anything, his nerves are getting worse.
Well, he's been of no real help, so I have no inclination to help him with that. But So I'm gonna say, well, we understand that, Master Divine.
It's like an insight to like a serial killer or something. Like every time you talk, he's like, this person is worthless to me. So there's no let him business ban, so I don't care. Okay. So yes, he's frightened of Devi. He's not staring at you, he's staring at Devi to see if Devi's gonna like lunge at him. You're saying blah blah blah, silver pieces and stuff, and he's just like, whatever, please just leave me alone. I didn't do anything.
Why did you think making this necklace fixed would help her? What is it about this necklace?
It's what she asked me to do. It's my job. I have a job.
And people want to
job.
wear these.
Is Devi just like not understand what jewelry is at all? Like, what is this room for?
Talking about?
What is going on here?
How does this make you stronger?
So do you chew on them and then spit them at your enemies, or what do you do with these jewels? Abel's just confused and scared, and it's pretty much he's beginning to blubber. Purple hair.
No, the quell would never work with him. So we can go.
It sounds like two people are mumbling incoherently to you guys. Like, what is she talking about now?
Question, DM.
Yeah.
So I have sealing wax in my inventory.
Okay.
For like sealing letters and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Would it be possible for me to press the key into that wax and like make a bit of a key mold with it?
Yes. Let's see. Yes, you could do that.
Okay. I'm.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say Lucain will announce. I'm going to look in the alleyway one more time just to be sure, and then step outside and close the door behind him, and then very quickly try to make a key impression.
Yeah. That's exactly what a normal good Wanderers Guild member aiming to help people would do. It's going to take a minute because the wax is cold. You can warm it up kind of in your hand. It's going to take a couple minutes.
Okay.
We can assume that maybe some of that is taken up, like you go out there and you're like, I got to check something back here. And then you go out and then Devi, like it's a little bit of silence, and then Devi starts like tearing into who do you work for, you know? And then that's kind of like, that shakes up Abel. And then it probably takes like 2 or 3 minutes for you to like kind of warm it up enough into your hand, like you're pushing that thing in there and trying to like warm it a little bit. Normally you'd have like a candle and dip and all that stuff, but you can still get a passable maybe imprint of this key for the most part. After maybe about 2 or 3 minutes, there's probably about like a minute and a half. Half of that, let's say, is Devi making this guy almost be himself. And Asuna, what are you doing for this? Like this, there's like a little bit of minute.
I'm just standing there holding, the case or the chest of all of the little doodads, and I'm just watching
and
he just lay into this guy, and I'm just
no judgments, but you're just passively watching these two people just tear into this old man, and you're just like rubbing your hands, like, yeah, baby, give him what he gets, right? Is that pretty much?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just, I'm just passively observing.
Well,
I'm just here to try to figure out, solve all the magical solutions, figure out the
help the evil people,
what I'm holding,
conquer the world. Yeah. Sure, yeah.
Yeah, conquer the world.
Oh yeah, these guys are gonna bow to your like when Bees isn't around, you guys are just a bunch of like villains. Basically,
I do feel like Tallulah is a mollifying. She's
the moral center of you guys because you guys are just spinning wildly into the void without her. Okay.
But we're just doing the dirty work. It needs to be done. We'll get results. I wouldn't call that evil. Maybe more
the very dirty work though. Maybe. Sure.
We're
Steal from an old
results.
man. So that's what accosting an old man, stealing from him, and what would be making a key what kind of? I guess that's not quite. I guess that's stealing. A different
Like a
word. What is it?
fraud, maybe.
Fraud. Yeah, fraud.
Yeah.
That's right. So
Yeah.
fraud, stealing, and basically threatening. You're hitting them
Look,
all.
I mean,
You could arson. There's still murder.
what's better,
That's true.
an old man being terrified or a possible murderer getting away? You know, it seems a pretty
That's
clear.
right. The end justifies the means, right?
Exactly,
Is that
exactly.
it? Is that it?
Exactly.
Luke turned dark pretty quickly. Pretty quickly. Maybe I should let you monologue a little more and let it out. I don't think this is turning into anything productive in game. Okay.
Look, I don't want any harm to come to him. Don't get me wrong. You know, I'm just trying to convince him, and he seems most convincible in a
Oh.
very particular way.
He's convinced, that's for sure, of something.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah.
But once I have the key mold, I'll just try to make sure there's no sign of like wax on the key or anything like that.
Nice. Okay.
And then come back in and shrug my shoulders like I didn't find anything. Because I didn't, so you know, it's a genuine shrug. Like I don't know, man. I'm improvising here.
Yeah. Don't give me ideas because I will make you roll for deception. I feel like we're gonna have. You better have deception rolls on hotkey. I think the way this is going. Yeah, that's fine. That makes sense. He's also not paying attention to you. Let's say you try to come in and make a big show of, oh, there's nothing in there. There's nothing out there. Oh, too bad. You know, and you just realize he's like basically crying in the corner. He is not paying attention to you. Yeah, I think you heard what Devi was. Well, maybe you heard Devi yell at him or whatever, but maybe not the particulars of that. So you can kind of maybe guess what happened.
This is why the famous bad wanderer strategy works in interrogation.
You guys know you're not cops, right? You're just heroes. You're supposed to be adventurers, not cops. That's all right.
No, we're representing ourselves as cops to him.
That's true.
Got us in the door. So
yes, yep. Okay, so
but yes, yeah, you're right. Well, since he is, you know, under what degree of duress, I don't know, agreeing for us to take the pieces. I don't know that we have any other leads at the moment. I'll look to my two companions and say, well, I believe our way forward would be to investigate these silver pieces and try to figure out what enchantment may have befallen the lady.
He mentioned previously about all like the scrap pieces, normally like sending them to the blacksmith. I don't know if that would be a good person to potentially see if they even know anything, but I'm just spitballing.
I don't think they would.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if the blacksmith never received the part of the necklace, they wouldn't be involved in this affair at all.
Mhm.
You're a native of the city, I believe. Would Lothario believe that?
Wait. Does she? Have you told anybody that you're from here? I don't know if you would.
No. Okay.
I don't know if you
I do.
would.
Then I'll rephrase.
You can tell she's magical in the same way she can tell other things are magical. You can just tell that she just has the look to her. So you can get away with that, but not that she knows her way around. Even when we had like when you went around the fog or whatever, she just went.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you guys it wasn't like, why are you?
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
We didn't get that far. So.
Yeah.
I'll modify what so I'll say, you know, I'm very much a newcomer to this city. I don't know if there's a place visitors might register that we could try to investigate more about the lady, see if we can determine where she came from, anything like that. I would ask the innkeeper, but you know, the man is trying to rip us off for the bill he's owed, and I don't believe he's a trustworthy source of information. Perhaps one of his like kitchen maids or something could have.
I was gonna say we could go back there and ask him about, you know, the information we now know, but then, you know, he's trying to frame us, so maybe not a good idea. But there could be somebody else there that could know a thing or two, but
did
I'm not sure.
Did the innkeep who Karen does not know is a councilman, did he say he was going to like go raise a hue and cry and like go like leave and talk to people and start an investigation, do I think he will be present in the inn, or if we were to return, or
You don't know if he's going to be present or not. He did tell you that, yeah, this matter is going to be investigated. That's why he told you guys to stay in the city.
Mhm.
He seemed very authoritative when he was talking about it, more so
yes,
than just
but
an
everyone puts on airs. Come now.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Abel DeMarc is standing in a puddle.
Well,
So I don't know.
See the puddle?
Everybody puts. Yeah.
All right. I don't have anything else to ask, Mr. DeMarc. Are there any questions?
I think we
either of
should
you
leave
might
him
have?
alone.
All right.
So we don't
I'll-
think he's involved? What
We'll
is he
hold
doing?
off
Is he
estimation on
actually-
that for the time being.
Are you okay?
Wait.
I'm
That was to DeMarc, right?
yeah.
He's pretty
Too
confused
good,
too.
that's too
He's like,
good.
please don't snap my neck. I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry.
He's I'm assuming, Luke, you came back in, you locked the door maybe with a key, you hand him the key as you're like saying your thing, as you're wrapping up. As soon as still holding the box, you give him the key, he's like holding the key and the keys are like jingling in his hand because he's it's like, and Devi comes over and like pat or whatever. I don't know what she does to him, but he's not, he takes the keys and he holds them, but he's not like saying anything coherent.
So yeah, I was like, I'm so sorry. Made a mistake. But I can't listen to him, so I'm gonna go. And I'm very sorry. I hope
we understand, Devi. We'll wrap up here.
Okay, so
I'm gonna go
Devi,
outside.
you just go outside, get some fresh air. Okay, so you're still holding the box of scraps.
Yes.
Okay, right now it's in your inventory, so write it down somewhere. They're basically box of silver scraps, and then later on, make sure you put it on your. Unless you get rid of it this session, make sure you put it in your D&D Beyond inventory so I can look at it. And then Luke gets back the keys, leaves him in the doorway, and you guys kind of are making your way back out through the front door.
Well, I'm gonna
Say one more thing. Yeah.
Master DeMarc. Well, Master DeMarc, thank you for your cooperation.
You have to speak louder because he's crying. I got it outside, another purple lady. Keys in
Thank you for your cooperation, Master DeMarc. Quite all right. Now, we should technically take you in for investigation, but we feel like we don't feel like that's necessary at this moment.
No.
So why don't you stay here now? I advise you go home and not leave. Others may come asking for you. But you know what? As a favor, we won't bring you in now. And if anyone asks, well, we never came to talk to you. Otherwise, we would have had to drag you through the streets. But so if anyone asks, we didn't talk to you. Your first time you're hearing of it. All right. That's what I like to hear, Master DeMarc.
That is great. Excellent.
So hopefully having convinced him to not blab, I really don't have much weight in his ability to stand up to even the slightest questioning, though. I digress. I guess we'll bid our due. We'll say, head home, drink some tea, Master DeMarc, collect your nerves. I'm sure you'll be asked for some more questions later.
It feels a little futile at this point to try to tell him that, but maybe Luke feel a little better about the situation.
I'll pat him on the shoulder a little bit.
Does your fingers feel gross for touching those lesser than you, or is it?
Oh, no.
Have you any soap with you?
He's not dirty. I wouldn't touch him if he was dirty. I don't need to wash.
God.
But I'll tap him. I'll pat him. Be like, there, and then I'll leave.
Okay. Okay. And then Asuna, how are you leaving this?
Well, I mean, I got my. Am I still holding the thing, or can I put it like in
You
my?
can put it in your. You can kind of wrap it up a little bit and put it in your backpack. You don't have to technically
Okay,
hold it.
I'm gonna wrap it up. Put it in my bag. Make sure it's all safe. Kind of walk out because I was in like that back room. Walk out, past the master old man, and just sort of like
This guy's been
wave.
humiliated and just ruined from.
Just
meeting
I
you
don't want to
guys.
say anything because I feel like anything I say he'll be overwhelmed. So I'm just gonna wave.
He's already
or just-
pretty whelmed. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
and
pretty
I'm just
close.
gonna walk out. Just on my way, and that's that.
Okay.
For-
Everyone goes outside into the
Oh,
street.
you know what I'll do before we leave? If that's all
One
right.
more,
If I
one
can-
more,
If
one
I can
more thing.
put Rick on this, I'm going to take
Sure.
out the cookie that Tallulah gave me, and I'm going to press it into his hands. Because he's not here to do it. I'm going to press Tallulah's cookie into his hands and say, there, and then I'll walk out.
Oh,
no.
that's so nice.
So one hand he's got his keys, and the other hand he's got like a cookie he's holding, and he's just
I
like
half in crumbs.
the last like image you see of Abel DeMarc is him standing, crying to himself with keys shaking in one hand, like the old like keeper in the Haunted Mansion ride where he's like too scared to go in there. He's got his keys like, and then he's got like a delicious oatmeal raisin cookie in his other hand.
Oh my
Like, I don't know what happened to me. I should have never helped that woman. And then you guys close the door, and now you're back out on the street.
Maybe a flicker of shame will cross. Well, he'll consider feeling a flicker of shame at seeing how
what?
the devastation,
Really?
the devastation he's left this old man
What
in.
a guy! You are a hero. You are
I
a hero.
really am. I really
So,
am.
I'm inspired.
This is beautiful. This is really beautiful. This is what we call character growth.
Wow. Love
A
to
character
see it.
arc.
Love to
Yeah, there's
see
a
it.
character arc. Be incredibly shitty starting, and then just a tiny dip of give him a cookie, and that's all you really need. Like that's
Yeah.
all, baby. That's all the
Character
arc you
growth achieved. I don't need to improve any further.
need. Fantastic. All right, what happens next?
Well, I'm afraid I'm a bit at a loss. So, Lady Devi, you did an excellent job. Well done. It's so nice to work with people who are effective at their work.
I think we ruined him.
We all we needed. But maybe perhaps we should head back to the inn and we can ask some of the staff if they noticed anything about her. The inn and the shop are the only two areas we know she's
Oh, I
there.
still hear him. I still hear him.
Oh no.
I know it's our fault, but like,
I'm
let's
gluten intolerant.
Oh god.
I
guess we
only
should
eat
maybe-
chocolate chip cookies. It's just his life is ruined in there. You can just tell. It's a
We
sad
should
day.
probably try to avoid the owner, maybe. So he
We didn't
doesn't-
realize when we walked in here that Northern Gemstones and more that the more meant like despair. Misery was the more. We didn't realize. Okay.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you can hear him kind of crying through the door still. He's not quite out of it yet. He can also see you through the window. You guys have not moved at all.
Let's get far away from.
By handing him that
Far away
cookie,
from here. I agree.
he's always going to associate oatmeal raisin with this traumatic memory.
The smell of cinnamon just sends him spiraling.
Well,
Why did I move into the oatmeal shop?
The only two places we know that she was are here on the inn, and the only two places we can confirm the necklace was here in the inn and in our hands. So I perhaps, like you say, we avoid the owner. We could perhaps talk to some of the staff. They might be able to tell us a bit more.
Yeah.
I would love to look around her room, but I fear that were we
I have an
caught
idea.
there,
if there's any sort of housekeepers that maybe had gone into her room previously,
We break into her
maybe
house.
no, but we could get some insight maybe on like more of like her state of mind or how she was acting or that sort of stuff. I think that could be a good
Her
lead.
Right, that was
room,
true. What?
like her room in the inn, is what you're saying, Suna?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Devi was up there. In case you want to say something, I don't know.
Wait,
Well, I guess.
You don't have to say anything, but I'm saying is she wants to go back up there.
Well, not
Again.
necessarily go back up there, but like find someone that
Oh, okay.
potentially was
Yeah.
up there, like a housekeeper or something like that.
I got it.
That
Insight
maybe
on,
could
like,
have more insight. Yeah.
on like her mood, or maybe saw some details, like her diary was open and said, "I live on 123 X Street" or something. You know, like
It says exposition diary, or like this is just for my inner thoughts and help in case I disappear mysteriously. You never know.
a list of her potential enemies, people who might want to enchant a necklace to take her out. You know, you never know. Housekeepers and the like, they pry. You know, they can't help it.
absolutely.
That was in character, by the way. That's not something I personally actually believe.
I think we're gonna have to have you do a voice because also it'd be nice to differentiate, but also be just funny. I think to just hear you do a voice. I think.
Yeah, that would be funny.
Maybe next session I'll practice
Okay,
a few
we'll
in the
work on
intro.
it. We'll work on it. We'll get there.
But all right. Unless there's anything else, let's head back.
So you guys start walking away from Northern Gemstones and more, and you're going back to the Prideful Pet.
When you say that in that tone, I'm imagining, like, my head. I'm finishing your sentence. You guys are walking away from Northern Gemstones and more, and suddenly it explodes behind you.
It's like you're walking away from the place, dot dot dot, and in my head it's like, or like some sort of yes. Yeah, there are actions happening there, that's for sure. But I mean, it's probably more crying. I wouldn't say explosions. An explosion of tears, perhaps.
Hey.
He'll be fine. He just needs to relax a little bit. He'll be okay.
He'll shake this off in a couple minutes. He's got no problems.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't have a successful jewelry store without being able to roll with the punches.
Of getting like accosted and robbed and basically threatened by the people you hired.
He gave these to us.
All in the day of a jewelry store clerk.
He didn't give it to you, but yes. All in the day. What a day. What a week that would be, probably. Okay, you guys end up making your way back down Hilltop, down the steeper streets of Hilltop, and once again backtracking to the Prideful Pet Inn. As you come up to the door, you notice there is a sign on it.
I will.
I can't read.
You can't read. Your background is sage. Like that's all you do. That's all you do is read.
Something you would say. That sign can't stop me because I can't read.
That's right.
I'm scared. I have really bad eyesight, so like I can't see it from far away,
Like,
and I'm worried.
are you
it's like a
nervous
wanted
of what it's
poster
gonna
for
say?
us.
So
Yeah, what if
you
it's
turn
like,
away?
get these people?
Amazing.
And,
Yeah,
and
it's got a big
reward,
picture of
you
your
know, like-
face and like a
Oh my God.
cross there. Oh, good.
yeah, that's what I'm worried about.
I do love that our immediate, tendency here has been, let's break into the housekeeper's house, or let's ignore the sign and just barge on in. I'm loving this energy.
Yeah, me too. You guys all have backup characters, correct? Bees is going to come back to a new character pretty soon, so we'll see what happens.
Okay,
What
so
does the
one of
sign
us
say?
is gonna read. Who's gonna read it?
Who reads it? Devi, why don't you read it?
Okay.
You go up to the sign.
I pull up the sign.
It's like hanging on a hook or like a nail. Excuse me. It says temporarily closed due to unforeseen circumstances.
It's closed.
Well, that's not good.
What time is it? Like, is
2:33. I don't know. How long does it take to like completely ruin a man's life?
about 30 minutes.
I mean,
Yeah.
the man's made of cottage cheese, about 5 minutes. So
Wow. I like how you doubled down there, Guillam. That's good. That's good. Stay strong, brother. Stay strong. All right. Yeah. No, it's about 3 after 3, maybe ish.
Well, definitely shouldn't be closed, so it makes me think they're investigating something.
You're
I'm a little
saying
worried.
it in character or in player?
Yeah,
Okay.
character to
Sure.
everyone.
Sure.
I'm sure they might just be holding the scene, or they might be investigating. Is there a window we can look in?
There's big windows, like for obviously the downstairs is the tavern part.
Mhm.
And that was where all the tables were and everything. There's a bunch of like tinted windows, colored windows, stained glass windows,
Stained glass,
around
yeah.
around basically two sides of it. They're not they're pretty opaque, so you can't really see too much in there. Looks pretty dark.
Do I see the innkeep anywhere?
Outside? Or
No,
you try to peer
inside.
through the glass?
Yeah, I try to
Yeah,
peer through
it's pretty blurry, but you don't see anything moving.
Okay. Let's walk around the side. I presume there's maybe like a kitchen door or something in the back, like a back door to this place. That might be the best place to find like someone who works and would have brought food to the lady in the.
Before
Or
I was
we
gonna
could
knock.
sneak in.
I was gonna knock.
Let's knock on the back door first. I think.
I'm
Okay,
knocking on the.
this
I'm
is
knocking right
civilized.
where the sign is. I'm like,
There might not be anyone inside of that section.
Yeah.
right, but I'm gonna knock and find out, and then
On the front door or the side door?
the door
If there
with
is a
the
side door.
note.
Well,
the
that's
door
The door with the note? You knocked on it? Okay.
My worry is he's more likely to be in this area where he might not be in the kitchen, where the staff might be,
That's a good point.
and that's who we want answering the door. But I mean, you've
No,
knocked.
you're. I mean, I think that's the wise decision, but yeah, devise.
No, you've knocked. Let's roll with this.
Yeah.
Okay, so you knock on the front door next to the sign?
Yes,
Is that
next to
okay,
the sign. As soon as I see the sign and announce it,
Don't
and
even
then
wait.
I
Bong, bong, bong.
yeah. I'm
Okay, you
like,
bang
no,
on the door.
no, this is an emergency.
Bang, 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 bang. You're getting a couple weird looks from people walking down the street, but there's nothing, not even sound inside that you can hear of.
Let's try the side door.
I don't. Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, there's basically a side. It's almost like a mini. It's like an alleyway, basically. Let's just keep it like an alleyway that goes around the side. There's no door. It's to the left. Like if you're looking at the building, you go around the left. Like this side, like this has the windows, and there's technically two. There's like some space over here before the next building, but the way the building like connects, almost it ends up. There's like more area for you to see out for light for the window on the right hand side. But there's no way through, like not a way that you can walk through. It's like a slim whatever. On the other side where the door is, and then there's the edge of the building, that's where like the big alleyway is. And along that side of the building, there's no doors. As far as you can see down the alleyway. The alleyway goes for a while to another street you can see way down on the other end.
Okay.
The building does end. There's a little area. You can tell the curves. It doesn't curve, it ends and juts in before the back of another building.
To see in that area, would we have to like walk around? Is what you're saying?
Right. Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah.
Well, then let's walk around.
Okay. Yeah. So you make your way down the alleyway and around the back, and it's a little bit more. It's obviously not as big as that first alleyway. This is much tighter, and there is a door almost right at the corner. Maybe like 5 feet in from the corner.
Okay. At this, I can either gesture to divide to knock again, or I can knock myself.
Okay, one of you guys knocks. Is it if you knock, is it a bang or is it a tap, like a regular knock?
You know, have you ever heard someone knock like shave and haircut 2 bits?
Yes.
It's like that.
So it's like a. I love how jovial and cool you are. Just like, let's just keep it light and breezy over here with this murder investigation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it helps that I know I'm innocent. You know, that's not an advantage Lucarian always has in life.
Normally, he did do it, and he's acting a lot like nicer. Is that what you're saying?
No, he's not worried about being in trouble because he knows he didn't do it.
Right, but like usually you do it, and
That's a bit spurious there, Mister.
I'm just saying there. If there's one, you said usually you're not. Usually you're not. So I'm just extrapolating from your. Yeah. So you knock on there, unless Divide would bang on the door first. I'm assuming Luke kind of took the lead there for a second. He does a, and then
Exactly.
You don't hear anything.
I'm not gonna hear that.
By all means,
Do you
please.
push him out of the way.
No, I'll step aside of a bow.
Oh.
Like, please.
Okay.
And
It is
Divide.
Divide of the Wanderers Guild.
Bang, bang, bang. There's like a cat that runs out from some boxes nearby, just takes off down the alleyway. You spooked it.
Shoo, cat.
I'm here on official business, cat.
I don't think they're here.
There's no sound.
I worry. I don't know what tricks what tricks these mages might have up there. No offense, Magus. I don't know what tricks these mages have
wizards.
up their sleeves. I worry that if
I
we go,
assume we can't just walk in, like the door's locked or something.
You have no idea.
I worry
Well-
that if we broach the scene, we'll get caught broaching the scene, and we will be in more trouble, and they will assume we are trying to cover something up rather than
We
But
can't-
this
uncover
is
it.
like a side door, right?
Hey, it's still, we're not breaking and entering yet. That's
Yes.
I'm just saying to find like
you leave the door open. You never know. Hey, we
Door
could be.
open to leaving the
Who knows
door.
what tomorrow will bring? A larcen, breaking and entering. Who knows?
We can't break and enter these.
I'm not saying break and enter.
can't
I'm just
trust
saying walk
these magic
in.
users.
If the door is
No
unlocked.
offense.
Well, we're not trespassing, I guess is my point yet. We're knocking at the
We're
door.
not staying.
we're
Wait,
not-
we're not technically like staying there. So I guess we would be like Well, it's closed.
If
so
it's
we
locked
would-
up
never
and
mind.
closed, yeah,
Okay.
we'd be trespassing if we were to go inside.
See.
Which I'm not opposed to on like moral grounds, but I don't
Yeah,
know
no.
what magical tricks and traps might be inside, or like who might be
Self-preservation.
investigating and ignoring our knocks. You know,
Oh, it's a beauty watching you guys work. You know,
I say, yeah, we want to do nothing more to get
incriminate yourselves.
Yeah, incriminate ourselves.
Yeah. You have a point. Yeah.
But we've seen the other side of it quite a few times.
what other buildings are around the prideful pet?
Let's see. In this area, there's nothing super memorable. There are a lot of what's it called? Like residential areas, houses, kind of like what are they called? Basically like smaller houses, like kind of like what are they called? Like townhomes kind of situation. They're kind of a little bit nicer than like the normal like shacks and stuff that they'd be in kind of like the cheaper areas of town. Let me see what else is around. You're in.
What I'm looking for is anywhere like I mean, it doesn't quite work with the tavern, but like a cafe where workers might have like stopped to get a lunch every once in a while, or any like natural meeting point where they might, when they're not working. Like,
Besides
stop
the
by.
inn, the inn would
Yeah.
be the best part. There's just some other shops. There's the like when you first walk through, there's the abandoned like temples. It's kind of very like whimsical still in this area, with like the stages, like the instruments that play themselves and the trees and stuff. There are some other stuff here, but from where you can see, just looking up and down the street, it doesn't seem like there's something obvious that's like where people congregate.
Are there any like greengrocers or anything like that?
This isn't really that kind of shops. You'd want to go to the marketplace for that kind of thing.
Yeah. Shoot. Are there any folks who look like they spend a lot of time on their porches? Like, an elderly lady who loves getting in people's business, or
not.
I don't think we need more old people.
Yeah, let's just run one life first game session. No, it's not
no,
really.
Our approach would have to be very different with this person.
Because they didn't try to actively ruin your life. Is that
exactly?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that guy definitely tried to ruin your life. So,
he could have actively tried. That's the important.
Oh yes,
could have
that's
actively
true.
tried.
He could have potentially tried. Yes.
In another world, we uncovered a vast conspiracy led by the mastermind Abel DeMarc.
I'm gonna write that adventure for next round. That's gonna be we do a world reset. Abel DeMarc is like the evil. He's like a lich or something. It's like they'll never get me in my jeweler shop.
He's acting like he's not right now.
I'll
Just
pee
throwing us off
myself
the
to
scent.
throw them off the scent.
Yeah.
Is that pretty much what's gonna?
Yeah, 10 levels down the line, we're gonna burst into the Lich's dungeon, and Abel DeMarc is sitting there like, "You ruined my life. I turned evil and created a phylactery from my jewelry."
Yeah, well, you never know what the future holds with this guy right now. Yeah, but sure, let's not. I don't think he's gonna go undead sorcerer just yet, but you never
Keep in
know.
mind with everyone that there will be consequences.
Yeah, maybe.
There very likely will be consequences.
See, these poor players aren't used to my campaigns, which is why I could tell you had a lot more remorse. You're trying to backpedal out
Yeah,
of.
and unfortunately, my character with the short fuse is not going to be the best one to right the ship. No, just crash right into the rocks. Without Rachel, who
Yeah.
also knows.
I think Bees would definitely her character really anchors you guys into not going completely insane. But
We're
who
not
knows?
completely insane. We're not trespassing into the end.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. You're not completely insane. This is meticulously planned villainy.
No, it is not meticulously planned. It is not
You're just riffing.
premeditated.
We're just
It's
riffing.
not premeditated.
That's
the lawyer
true.
cannot prove that.
This is like the best improv for how to ruin a guy. Go. The scene is how to ruin an old man's life.
But we just want to ask Master DeMarc, pardon, Master DeMarc, what he knew about the lady, and he kindly gave us this box of scraps to try to determine what magic might have been in it.
Look.
He has a nervous disposition, but I don't feel like we're untoward to wim or anything like that.
Wait.
Roll for deception. It's not even an in-game roll. I just want you to roll the deception just because I don't believe that. I like how you're trying to meta your way out of it. That's not gonna happen, buddy. I love it. What were you saying, Zay?
I was saying Defy is just merely perpetuating a cycle of traumatic violence and trauma,
Jeez.
and it's nothing personal.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
let's just let this all bubble up to the surface.
It's
Second
clearly
chapter of Tales of Galaean, and
trauma
everybody's
goes-
letting it
trauma's
all
a
out.
cyclical process, and we got to break the cycle, and that's
Is next session like just therapy for everybody? We just do like a therapy session, maybe.
Yeah,
He's already there. He's already had quite the day.
Yes.
I'll tell him that when he comes for his revenge. We need to break this cycle.
Look, you better give up, or I'll send you to therapy.
When his ghost
No.
he has a heart attack.
Oh no!
All right. With that being said, this sounds like a great time to take an intermission. So let's go ahead, take 10 minutes, and we'll be back to think and really reflect on our actions this session. Just maybe take moral accounting of who we all are as people.
Uh-huh.
All right, I'll see you guys in 10 minutes. And we are back to cause more mayhem. We are still outside. We're actually outside the back door of the Prideful Pet Inn and Tavern. And so far, we have not been able to gain entry, at least legally. What's our plan?
So I believe before we went to break, I'd asked if there looked like there's anyone who might live
Anybody on the
nearby,
stoop or
like
whatever.
anyone might spend, like any local figures that might have an eye on the neighborhood that I could tell.
You're in the alleyway right now. Walking in, you want to do remember, or you want to go back out to the street and take a look around? What's?
Let's say memory.
Yeah, from memory, there's a lot of people coming back and forth in the street, but you don't remember anybody off the top of your head that's like some sort of stoop kid situation or somebody fanning themselves in a rocking chair. Nothing like that.
Drat. Well, companions, I don't feel like we should break in. I feel like if we trespass into the stand, we might make things worse for us, not better. Not worse for ourselves, not better.
Is there any do they have any guards that patrol here? Have we seen anybody that looks like a patrol?
Here meaning what?
Since we walked from Old Man DeMarc's jewelry store back to the Prideful Pet Inn,
Did you see any city guards? Is what you're saying?
Yeah. Or from there or back. Since this whole time we've been in the city, we noticed.
I don't know if you were quite looking for them, so not really. No.
Like when we walked in the city, did they have guards in a specific type of garb?
When you walked into the city from wherever you came from?
Yeah.
Not that you could remember, I don't think.
Okay.
You weren't I'm sure you weren't going into the city and looking for guards to profile. So I can't.
Right, it's just
say
I don't know if you go through security at an airport and you remember that there was security
there's big gates and
at
stuff. No, nothing like that.
Okay. We need to find the local precinct or somebody to talk to.
Well, I feel like they'll likely find us. I expect at some point we'll be called in for questioning for this investigation that they're running.
Yeah.
Archmage said as much, the innkeeper.
Yeah, he said we
Basically
have to wait
said it.
around. So,
Yeah, exactly.
is there any way we can expedite? Do either of
Going
you?
to jail.
Did any of you know the city? The way it's structured here? Why?
You could say
Anyone
that,
we
but
can talk
say structured. Be more specific about structured.
Does anyone know how the judicial system, the
I thought you meant a map when you said structure, not
the
judicial
how-
system.
How does power flow through Astralarum? I'm just a bill.
I'm just a bill.
legislative branch. How does the legislature work here?
Let's say I want to pass it that you can harass old men whenever you want. What do I have to do? How do I write my own bill for that?
Do you want us to just wait around like sitting ducks? Is there anyone we can talk to assist? It feels like we're being.
If we're not going to break in, I don't think we should, but I'm not ruling it out. If we're not going to break in now to look for any signs of Lady Wallach's identity or origins, we may want to alert the Wanderer Guild about this, and perhaps they know some people in the city who might be able to intercede on our behalf, or you would hope as an organization they might have connections. You never know, but
Yeah, let's go harass them. I mean, talk to them.
Yeah. Was you're joining the Wanderers Guild. Luke, was you joining the Wanderers Guild like under duress? Like
No.
you're one of them technically.
Yeah.
So anything you say is technically your decision of what you did.
Oh, and it pains me. But I'm not going to soften truths just because they also apply to myself.
Of course. Okay.
Yeah. So, do either of you have strong feelings about either of this?
I feel like I feel like probably going back to the guild maybe is our next best bet. And I think I've kind of changed based on what you guys have said. I've kind of changed my mind about the whole breaking and entering thing. Maybe it's not the best idea.
She was
Don't
almost
rule it
corrupted.
out.
Darn. You're this close to ruin her life too.
But I'm just saying, I kind of agree. Maybe there's a better way to go about this. We should try other avenues first before having to resort to potentially getting into even more trouble. So
we may be able to return, and I mean, this is a place of business. With how avaricious the barkeep is, I doubt he'll want to keep his establishment closed for very long.
That's a good point.
Perhaps we might be able to return. And talk
How
to the
dare that money-grubbing small business owner?
Oh my God, the greed!
He's just the worst. How dare he want to get paid after weeks of not getting paid?
Hey, I don't begrudge him that. I begrudge him involving us in this. He needs to go find the woman on his own personally, but I digress. Then let's return to the Wanderers Guild, and we can come back here maybe get again later if things aren't panning out. Not ruling out breaking in, just not doing it right now.
Might as well space this out. All your
Surely this
criminal activities.
Surely this happens. The Wanderers Guild's got to have a binder or something on how to deal with it.
Yeah, I mean, with the usual people that the Wanderers Guild employs, I'm sure they're used to dealing with all sorts of messes. Like, we're a rowdy bunch of characters.
Did you say binder?
What?
Do binders exist?
Binders of women. Oh, wait,
No,
that's
sorry, I may have misspoke it. With the amount
No, I meant Z.
I did say binder.
You said
There's scrolls.
Like,
Do they have
scrolls?
scrolls? There's scrolls of how to deal with this. The scroll job aid.
There's
Anyway.
really a high level spell of summon barrister or something like that to intercede on our behalf.
Seriously, that's our only lead at this point. I don't trust the rest of this town.
Yeah. Let's go back.
I think we can all agree that committing a crime is not the best way to absolve ourselves of the other crime.
Well,
Not
I guess we
necessarily,
don't
no.
cancel.
Okay,
What a wise thing to
Okay.
say after committing a crime.
I
haven't
don't know
committed
if we
any.
cancel each other out or what. So
What
What
crime
was
have I
that?
committed?
What was that?
what? What?
Like you're talking to me as if I wasn't there. What are you talking about, man? There's no crimes committed.
Yeah.
And since when is making an old man cry a crime?
It's just a normal Saturday, baby. Night out on the town.
Screw that.
Divine us at a party. That's just.
I didn't impersonate an officer. That was. He said that. I didn't.
I have a God's given right to make old men cry. It's Astralarum.
No one's taking that away from me.
Part of my God's backstory. So that's fine.
Technically, that's the part that might get us in trouble later if they want to make us stink out of it. But it's fine. It's fine. We can talk our way out of that.
Yeah. I'm confident.
I don't know about that.
There's nothing we can talk ourselves into that we can't talk ourselves out of. You gotta believe it.
Saying that out loud, that's not true, right? As the words are coming out, you're like, this can't be right. This can't be right.
That needs a self-deception check.
Yeah. Do it to yourself.
You're gonna need a crit to believe that one.
No, fighting words aren't a thing. Like there's nothing. There's no mess you can talk
It'll be
yourself
fine.
into that you can't talk yourself out of. You just gotta find the right words.
Everyone knows
Ugh.
magic users are famously like hospitable. So
They're totally
Yeah,
level-headed.
famously reasonable people.
very
Absolutely.
laissez-faire about crime.
They love dealing with like suspected murderers who lie and threaten other
Oh
citizens.
yeah.
They're super cool about that. It's like I don't even
Yeah,
say
totally.
it, right? Oh man,
Yeah.
they love that. Okay, let's assume that you are having this lovely conversation as you walk back to the Northern House
Walking
Wanderers
down the
Guild.
street, loudly debating
Loudly, like,
whether or not,
it's my God-given
I
right to
didn't commit
threaten
a
old
crime.
men. And
You would have threatened us first.
magic users are the worst. They'll never let me get away with these crimes. Very smart. Very good.
It's only
Magic users are
suspected
so
murder. What's the big
unreasonable.
deal?
I think that's the way to go forward, Guillam, is that I assume that every time you pontificate out of character, I'm just going to make it in character and make you just make you suffer the consequences. Like, what did he say about rolling dice? That son of a bitch. You make your way down, and instead of making the direct way, you actually backtrack the little bit longer way, past the marketplace to avoid the fog, which you did all notice while you were in Hilltop. There was something foggy going on in this part of town.
So this
So it does
do
take you a
know
little while.
any Details about like what it's like to be inside the fog. I forget exactly how much the receptionist told us about when we asked about it. Like people do go inside the fog, and like it's not like instant death zone.
No, it's not like poison or whatever. No,
Yeah.
it's no. There's definitely something odd with it. Obviously, lingering fog that doesn't dissipate, and it's not like normally white. It's got like a hue to it, but it's not. She didn't mention that it's like instant death or anything like that. It was more of a. It's like if you don't know your way around it, you're going to probably get into some trouble.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if like one were needed to escape pursuers or something like that,
For
like the
some
fog,
random
the
reason,
fog might be a way to do that.
if we were being pursued by, I don't know, let's say guards for, I don't know. Yeah, you could go into the fog. Yeah. That might be what it's used for pretty
These aren't
often.
plans I'm making. You gotta
Yeah,
leave doors
I don't
open
know.
for yourself down the road. That's all.
Yeah, why close the door when you can leave
Exactly,
it wide
you know?
open? Why close the door when you can make a wax duplicate of the key?
It is only when you know the possibilities that you know what you can do. All right, and then
That's
you can
true.
Choose. So
That's true. That's very true. Very true. Okay. You guys do have a little bit of a walk ahead of you. You're walking down past Marketplace, all the stalls. It's becoming a little bit, not quite dark or whatever, but the sun is starting to become a little bit lower in the sky. We call it Solace is the name of the sun. There's no sun. Solace is, you still got maybe 2 more hours probably of light, but it is starting to cast shadows a little bit more. A couple of the, let's say the wheelbarrow stalls in Marketplace, they're not actual shops. They're kind of closing up for the day. They did most of their trading, trying to close up their things. Not quite closed yet. We still have some time, but they're getting there. And
poor grandmother, she wanted to go to the market, but we.
I'm sure she's eyeballing all those stalls and being very gracious and letting you all ruin her life quickly. All she wanted to do was go shopping.
Hey, at least we did it quickly.
That's true. That's true. You do it in one session, like you can't really blame anybody. You end up after maybe about 30 or 45 minutes, you start closing in towards Northern House. Do you guys talk about anything special before you get there?
I don't think so. Talk about how efficiently we can ruin people's lives.
Yeah, there's a lot of room for improvement.
Mm-hmm.
That took way too long to get him to crying.
I mean, honestly, if the purpose was to get him to cry, we could have just struck him a few times real hard. I think would have done the trick. Like,
I didn't want to make him cry. In fact, I wanted to
Nor
make him
did I.
stop crying.
nor did I. But it was important that we keep him, on his back feet in case he did have something to do. He doesn't appear to. I don't think that Able to Mark is the hand behind these events, but I think he is a dupe. Whatever mystery we are stumbled into, the lady seems to be at the heart of it. So
we just.
But one never
tortured an
knows.
innocent man.
We interrogated an possibly innocent man.
That's all that happened.
Doesn't feel
We
much better. when you
traumatized
say
a
that.
potentially innocent man.
Assuming you're not helping either.
I'm stating facts. Okay.
This is
I'm
facts.
telling you what happened. And that's what happened.
We had to get to the bottom of whether or not he was involved, and he doesn't seem to be. Had we not, we might not be sure. We might still be bothering him, In the long run, this is for the best.
Yeah.
Besides,
I'm personally
we got
tired.
Less delicious cookies.
I'm personally tired of getting judgmental stares from Granny Tortoise here, so let's move on back.
You could feel her eyes rolling.
Mm-hmm.
Let's move back towards the Wanderers Guild and see if they can help.
All right. Let's see. We end up making our way outside Northern House. This is approximately what it looks like. Those are the doors and such. And it's a little bit brighter out, but otherwise, that's the idea. You go ahead and walk in, I'm guessing.
Yep.
Okay. You walk in, and it's still Officer Portent at the table. She does have another man next to her, sitting next to her at the table. And they both wave, and they're like, not wave, they acknowledge you. And they're like, oh. She goes, oh, you're back. Didn't step into the fog, did you?
No, my dear, we did not. Thanks to your able assistance.
She like leans over to the other guy, and she goes, this is the one I was telling you about. You better watch out. He's being nice to me. Oh, that's great. That's super great. That's super great. We haven't shown you your rooms yet. You kind of left it before. Are you getting tired? Or maybe perhaps a meal?
The fellow in charge who gave us our orientation, is he here?
He is just the instructor. Instructor Mish. He's already busy with another class right now.
Then is there someone we can talk to, like someone, a manager of this office or anything like that?
That's me. What can I help you with?
Perfect. My apologies. So, how can you?
What, you think the woman can't be the manager?
Kind of mansplaining touch. Just like, we need to see somebody in charge, sweetheart. Come on.
I feel like the other three women in his group are just like staring at him more and more.
It's only one, man.
Is there any man here that I can speak to, please? I need something important business. Where's the man in charge?
Anywho,
manager without man.
I will saying that. Let's see. Perfect. So we are under investigation for murder.
You just say it like
I'll rip the bandage off.
Hello, we're wanted for murder.
Okay, obviously, we didn't do it, but we are under investigation.
Believe me, bro.
And we're not just saying that.
So Luke says that just like total straight face, like, we didn't do it, but we're murder. What do you two? What is Asuna and Dawai? What do you guys like? You didn't expect him to come out so hot,
No.
he came out fighting. What's like your look on your face? You can technically say something, but he's still talking right now. Like, what's your reaction?
I'm just in disbelief that he said that.
You're like, oh my god, like that.
Yeah,
kind of
yeah, that's my reaction.
All right, Devi, is this a show of strength by Lucarian to? You're kind of you respect him a
I
little
get
bit.
some respect to this. Yeah.
Yeah, there's
That's
no
like, oh
justifying
yeah.
around. You got to get right to the heat of the moment.
No dilly dally.
Okay,
Who cares about the weather? We're wanted for murder.
there's no time to waste. Let's get in jail quick. This is dilly dallying. All right, look, you're still talking. I'm sorry, it was an interruption, but you say we're wanted for murder. Of course, we're innocent, but
we were told to remain in the city while the investigation was going through. While completing the job we accepted, a woman vanished mysteriously before two of our members' very eyes, and he'll, gesture with a wave of his hand to grandmother and to Lady Devi. And
she turns, she goes, okay, hold on a second. She goes, Bergam, maybe you should take these two to the other room and talk with them. And there's a Wimmer man. There's the other man that she was co-conspiring with. He stands up and he's like, all right, you guys come with me. And he kind of gets down, walks around the counter, and then goes to like basically a side door off to you came downstairs when you came down from the like instruction area upstairs. There's a bunch of stuff upstairs, offices, more stairs going up. There's a big maze to you guys basically. But on the ground floor, there's a couple of doors leading off in other directions on the ground floor. And he kind of like waves you over to a door to the right and says, all right, follow me.
So
we'll get this sorted out.
Okay. So he doesn't want the three of us to go.
The four of you, yes.
Okay, four of us, yes. All right. Then,
so you all kind of follow him?
Yeah.
All right, so you follow him. He goes basically down. It's like down there's like a hallway basically that kind of wraps around. And then he, after a couple of passing a couple doors, he takes you to a door and then opens it up. And it's just basically like a small room with some tables and chairs and stuff. And he's like, all right, sit down. He like holds the door open for everybody to walk in.
What does the door look like?
How can I make it? Yes, it's just a normal wooden door. Yeah,
normal wooden door. Does it have like a padlock or like a bar or anything like that?
It looks like it does have a lock. You can tell.
So this looks like a normal room, not like a cell.
No. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I mainly wanted to double check. Yeah, before I walk in. But since it does look like a normal room, I shall gladly walk in.
Fantastic. Okay, so yeah, there's maybe 4 or 5 chairs on your side. Then he's got a stool basically that he pulls up from the corner of the other corner of the room, and I'm assuming everybody sits down. And there's a couple tables in front of you.
I'm gonna take 2 and put my feet up on one of them.
Oh yeah, now there is definitely. Why would I stop that character moment? You could put it on the table. Do you want to put it on the table?
That feels a little unnecessary.
Oh, it's too much? Did I go too far? Too far?
I mean, people might eat or need the table. I've been walking through the city all day,
That's true. That's true. Okay, so there are tables in between you and the other officer. But basically you all sit down. He sits down. He's like, all right, what happened? Don't spare any details.
So I'll relay the parts that I know. That we accepted the job to courier the package for Able to Mark. It was a necklace of some kind. We got to the tavern. Asuna and I stayed downstairs while Devi and Tallulah went upstairs. And at this point, I will gesture to Devi to continue the story.
Yep.
What actually happened, ma'am? What happened when you were up there? You know this is pretty important, right?
She went. Poof.
That's all you've got to say?
We don't know why. She put the necklace on, and then she vanished. Poof.
All right. That's good to know.
She was how do I put this lightly?
Oh, no, go heavy. Just go for it.
She was making a bunch of noises. She was moaning, whining,
Making a bunch of noises.
was-
Did you
she
say
was-
she was making a bunch of noises?
noises. She was
I like how you guys have picked the exact perfect like combination of characters to instantly get you all thrown into jail. It's like the perfect, like you couldn't have done it better. Like no one can save anybody. You're just all screwed. You do get a lot of experience points for staying true to your character, so that's something. I do respect it.
experience points. Do not directly tie into escaping jail, though. So
No, you can't spend it to. Get out of jail free.
No jail cards. Okay.
So
She went. She was excited about this necklace for some reason. I don't know. Apparently, people like these things, and she put it on. She was gone. We went to tell the barkeep, and he accused us of murdering her or something. When we don't, she could just have gone poof. You can't trust.
Here,
Right.
here.
well said.
Well said.
She went poof.
Yeah. She went poof.
She's gone.
So you went to deliver a necklace. You gave it to the woman that requested it. She moaned a lot and
Made a
made
lot
a
of
bunch of
noises.
sounds.
Yes.
And then she went poof.
After being happy
She
some reason.
was happy.
about the necklace,
And then she went poof.
then she went poof. It was smoke.
And what happened to the necklace?
Went with her.
Oh, she put on the necklace and went poof. Your demeanor is totally frightening. I'm sorry if I missed some details.
That's understandable. Yes, thank you.
Okay, so you got a necklace. You brought it to the woman. She put it on and disappeared mysteriously. And you're the only one that saw her. You two didn't, right? You
No.
points to
No, I
Mercury
was
and Wilson.
downstairs.
I didn't see her.
You
yeah, we
two
were
saw. He
downstairs.
points to Devi and to Lulu. He says, "You two are the only ones that saw her disappear." And
Yes.
she made some sounds and she disappeared. You didn't, how do I put this lightly? You didn't kill her, did you?
Did we kill her?
Did you?
It's
You
right,
got, let me
straightforward
just
question.
let me.
No, the answer
You
is
guys
no.
are giving me killed her vibes. That's all I'm trying to say.
No.
We saw her go poof.
You saw her go poof.
Oh no.
I was pointing to me and to Lula. We saw
We
her go
didn't
poof.
kill her. Nobody killed her. We did not know what would happen.
We were
when
trying to
she
help
put on the
her.
necklace. We were just
We were-
trying to do our job.
We were doing our job, and she disappeared.
Why did they think we killed her?
And the
You were-
cash-strapped innkeeper just said that we were around, that we were surely responsible. and
Why was he cash
She was
strapped?
clearly not a warrior. Why would we fight?
She was clearly in debt to him for a fair amount. He was clearly concerned about the bill she owed. I personally,
That's all. I'm sure
if
that's
my-
all he was worried
my
about.
money would be that she had the necklace she wanted and was staying in the city for, and then bailed so she didn't have to pay the bill. But
You think she skipped town to skip out on the bill?
yeah. I mean, it wasn't that good of an inn. It can't have been worth whatever he was charging.
Which inn were you talking about?
The Prideful Posy,
The Prideful
Prideful
Pet?
Pet.
Oh yeah, yes, that's the one.
Open Plumes establishment? Oh,
Someone.
guys, someone.
Who?
He's like, oh man, this is gonna be hard to. You guys gotta give me something to work with here. Okay, let's just be
I
clear,
told you she went poof.
because
Yeah,
I feel
we didn't have anything to do with her vanishing.
I
She
feel
went
like
poof. The lady went poof.
you're talking an awful lot for not being in the room. Could you just answer one question first? Did you kill her?
No.
Oh,
Are you
But
sure you
tell
didn't
me
kill
who
her?
I need to kill to clear this up.
You're really giving off vibes like you killed her.
Now you're.
You want me to get you up? Like, there's only so much we can do here at the Wanderers Guild. You understand? We do get into scrapes like this, helping people, but oh man, usually we got more to work with here. Okay.
How can we help you help us?
Well, let's just start from the beginning. You got the necklace from
Able to mark.
Able to Mark. Okay, I know him.
Okay.
He's a good man. He treated you right?
I mean,
don't like
he
the
was
blank looks on your
cooperative.
faces.
He treated us fine.
Yeah, he was very cooperative.
Everybody roll deception. Everybody.
Wait, he didn't ask us if we treated him.
Yeah, he treated us.
You all lied straight to him.
What? No,
Into
he asked
his
how
face.
he treated us. He treated us so well.
Yeah, he was very
You
cooperative.
all did this. You all did this. He goes.
I don't think we
He
treated him that well.
He treated you good,
Yeah, but
right?
that's not
And you
what
guys
we
are all
said.
like,
He didn't ask if we treated him badly.
Yeah, wait,
I'm
wait,
just
wait. Like,
saying.
how are we supposed to answer that?
no, you guys all were the most suspicious.
Okay,
all right,
I gotta roll.
Asuda.
I will roll. I will roll.
Yeah, no,
This-
everybody needs to. If that's your answer, we got
just-
6 of 10. All right.
Oh no.
Okay, doing good. Here, where's we've got
That's your- Right.
Yeah, yep. That's about in the order.
that's
of
about right. That's
believability.
finally the pendulum of justice swings back and rights itself. So you got a 6 of 10 and the 7. Okay, he goes, oh, okay. So
We may have made him cry.
What now? He made you made him he made you cry?
We may have made him cry.
I mean,
You
he
may-
kind of made Lady Divine cry a little bit because how he was crying. But
Crying was
I don't-
happening.
It was
there were a lot of
tears of-
tears to go
The
around.
crying is
Please-
unrelated.
Please tell me
Well-
these were tears of joy.
They were cathartic.
Oh,
tears.
those
How
looks.
badly do you want us to tell you this?
Okay, let's skip that. Let's just skip the tears.
We've made some mistakes.
It sounds
No, we
like
made
it.
some decisions.
But we
They were
didn't kill
mistakes.
anyone.
We learned. We learned. We learned what we needed to learn. And that's what's
Learn what we
important.
need to learn. That
I
people
haven't
die
learned
when you
much
kill them.
yet.
That's what we learned.
No, that we learned that able to mark didn't have anything to do with it. Probably.
Wait, what do you mean
Probably.
We
probably?
learned, but we
I mean,
still...
he could be lying to us. I can't.
Do you know
guarantee it.
how
I'm not a
long Able
god.
DeMarc's been a fixture in Hilltop?
No,
You think he's
He
wrapped
doesn't
in
know.
some?
He doesn't
no,
know.
I don't know.
Oh, my
I
goodness.
just arrived here. I don't know the man.
And you just started accusing people?
No, he went
As
to
one
ask
does.
him what he was up to and if he knew anything about
What he
the
was up
lady.
to? Hey, you up to killing anybody, or is
Yeah.
it just like a normal?
He gave us the
The
necklace.
lady vanished. He gave us the necklace. We asked if
All
he
right,
had anything
all right,
to do
all
with
right.
it. He said no.
So-
He cried a little bit. We established that he said no. It's fine.
We made
Wait.
some mistakes.
He gave you the necklace, and then you made him cry. Like I don't get it.
No, you're confusing the events. What's your name?
Yeah, my Bergum.
Bergum. I'm gonna write that down.
Bergum. I feel like this name's gonna come back to haunt you, so you might as well get that right. Bergum.
Thank you.
Bergum.
Look, Bergen. We
Not
we
Master
did the job.
Bergum. It's not Master.
No,
Bergum?
he's
Oh.
he
No,
doesn't
fine,
own
it's
the
good.
establishment. Why
Look at
would
this
he
guy.
ask
Look at this guy.
Not
Yeah,
so
this is just a normal asshole.
This is a guy who's failing to help us. But he's willfully obtuse.
He's
I do not
willfully
feel
obtuse.
I do not feel
I
this
don't
way,
know
by the
about
way.
that.
Can I make that?
Yeah, I think this is a in character thing. He's being willfully obtuse. He's
Look.
like, I'm trying to help you.
Look, Bergum.
You're not giving me much. All right,
We were hired to courier a necklace from Abel DeMark to Lady Wallace.
who you made cry, correct?
Later.
Because we thought he
I'm
killed her.
Later.
It's
We
important
thought
to
he was a
understand the
murderer.
chronology here.
Wait. You got the necklace.
We got the necklace from Abel
You
DeMark.
brought it down to
The
one
prideful
of
pet.
one of the Arcane Council's businesses.
Arcane Council.
It was owned by the Arcane Council.
You don't know who Open Plume is? He's like
What?
one of the
Are
most
you
powerful
saying the
men in
name?
Astralarum.
Is that a name?
It's
He said
it's his
he
name, Open
owns-
Plume.
He owns the inn.
He does, yeah, he owns the inn.
Is the
Okay.
Arcane Council? That sounds like a big
Trouble?
deal.
Yeah. Big
mean,
trouble.
Again, I'm sure he owns.
Did nobody tell you about the city? Didn't you ask any questions? Are you all new? Did you ask any questions of your instructor?
Your training process is
your training process is 4 hours long. You didn't ask any questions about the city or who you're dealing with or things to do or not do in the city?
I'm a visual learner.
He didn't pull out the slideshow projector. We have a slideshow. There's a whole.
I'm an active learner as well.
You've got to go out there and
I gotta
doors.
I gotta do it with my hands.
We put the necklace to this person.
Oh no!
We didn't make any physical contact with anybody.
I did pat him on the shoulder.
Only emotions.
I gave him
were
a
hurt.
cookie. You know.
The only damage was emotional.
Wait, what about the cookie?
Look, we're getting ahead of ourselves. So
I didn't have anything to do with the cookies.
We arrived at the end of the necklace. We talked to the innkeep, and the fellow said that the lady was upstairs and behind on her bill, and we went upstairs to ask about her money. I stayed downstairs. I trusted my 2 companions to go up and deliver the necklace. By all accounts, she was happy to have the necklace on. She put it on. She went poof. They came down. Lady went poof. And the man started throwing around accusations.
Let's just stick to what we know. You weren't upstairs, correct?
I know this from what they've told me, yes.
What about you, Miss? He looks to Asuna. Were you upstairs?
No.
What about you, scary woman?
I think because we've painted such a great picture of the events that they feel like they've been there.
We've talked about
you
time.
He's asking if you were there.
Were you upstairs, maybe?
Me? Of course I was upstairs.
Okay, you were upstairs. All right, then. Then you tell me when events go upstairs, you can chime in. I don't want to have secondhand advice. The Inquisitors are going to hang you guys out to dry. You understand that? Got to make the Inquisitors. Yes, you know they petition for and against you at trials in front of the Arcane Council.
Trial by combat.
No, there's no trial by combat in Astralarum. We're a magical city, goddammit.
Trial by magic.
We'll magic you to death.
Trial by
magic can be combat.
I got 2 questions before we continue. One, did you kill the lady?
No.
How many times are you going to ask this? We did not kill the lady.
It seems like you killed the lady. No. That's all I gotta say. My instincts are rarely wrong.
You're supposed to help us.
All right.
Not
in that case,
us.
I'm just asking. I could still be on your side if you killed him.
He's being thorough. It's okay.
That's fair.
We do have methods of secreting you out of the city if you did kill this woman. We would have to take away your badges and such, but as a last thank you gift, you could get out of the city. And I just want to make sure.
Nice. That's a nice option.
Never to return and probably be hunted for the rest.
We did it.
I mean,
see. Wait a minute.
Let's say we did.
This is why I feel like maybe.
Like let's assume we did for a moment. What would leaving look like?
Let's not assume. Let's never assume that.
Like, would it be new IDs? Would you help us change our appearance? What would this?
I really don't want to be.
Witness protection program.
No. Witness protection program for what you?
Look, we didn't.
We have witnessed a crime. We are victims just as much as anyone else.
You can't. It doesn't work for witnessing your own crimes.
Yourself. We're the biggest victims here.
Listen, the lady's gone. We're still here. We're still dealing with the consequences.
This is so good.
She's no longer dealing with the consequences.
All right, we didn't do it. We didn't do it. But if we had,
I don't know if that's quite the vibe that I'm getting when you say you want to get secreted away out of Astralarum.
That's just for my own interest. That's all.
That's just a personal curiosity of yours. You're like, just for future knowledge. Who knows?
I want to know what my options are.
This guy's always looking for a way out. I love it.
We can discuss those options after we are no longer on trial for the Inquisitors.
You'll cross that bridge when you get chased out of town. Run over it.
Oh my my god.
You can see why I might be a little bit suspicious of your story, correct?
Look,
No.
I'm used to it. It's fine. I get
No,
it.
we've told
I
nothing
get it.
but
No,
the truth.
it's the same. It's the same stigma I have faced ever since I've come to. I'm sorry. That's neither here nor there. We need your help. We're sorry. We're desperate. I don't know.
He said he's trying to help, but he just, we have to answer the questions, and we gotta be a
Yes, I can answer all the questions about the hysterical lady and all of her noises. I'm ready. I'm here for you. I
Can
will
you
dig
give me
deep.
the noises in detail? Can you please act them out for me? What was one sound like?
Maybe Tallulah can.
Okay, well,
assist.
she does a great rendition of the noises that she heard up there.
I tend to tune out these sort of noises. It's a character flaw, I realize, but I'm working on it. I didn't
Okay.
kill anyone, okay? And I don't. How can we?
You've got to believe me. I didn't kill her.
It's like the world's
It
most
was my twin.
suspicious
It
conversation.
was my twin.
It's like, wait, there's a way out of the city. Tell me more about that.
I was the last one to see her. I didn't kill her anymore, but I didn't kill her.
Yes, there's no other witnesses. Yes.
Do we have to kill you too to get? So we have to kill all the witnesses that we've talked to.
We have to,
Well, the Archmage's man looked in the room, and he looked in the room and investigated and didn't find any evidence that we had done anything wrong, because we hadn't done anything wrong.
What did he tell you? He said that there was no. How did he told you that you did nothing wrong?
No, he's the Archmage's employee guy. He walked upstairs and he looked at the room, and I guess
Did you call the Archmage of the Arcane Council an employee guy?
yeah, the man he
Okay.
has at the barkeep. He said he owned the business, right? His barkeep.
Here's the other question I didn't ask. Do you all understand how dangerous and much trouble you all are in?
no.
You know what? Don't answer. Don't answer.
That's why we need your help.
It's a lot. Ugh. Okay. Continue. Archmage Open Plume of the Arcane Council, one of the 12 most important and influential people in all of the magical city of Astralarum,
Mhm.
went upstairs.
No, his barkeep went upstairs.
No, he went upstairs.
No, his
He's-
barkeep. His barkeep
have
went
it.
upstairs.
There's only one person.
He was
the man he was hiring, that he hired to be at the bar.
I see. Okay, let me backtrack. Sorry. Wait, the barkeep was there? He
Yeah,
doesn't have a barkeep. What do you mean?
yeah, the fellow I described him.
That's
I
He's-
Guillam don't remember what he looked like, but I described the barkeep to him.
he's a like a cat person basically, and you're like, say that he's this color, da da da, and he's like, oh my, like the guy, Bergham's like, oh my god, what have I should have called in sick today. Why? Oh, unbelievable. Yes, that was Archmage Open Plume you were speaking to directly.
No, it
Can I
None
wasn't.
of
ask
you
you
know
a
this?
question?
He looks-
Can I
he
ask you
looks-
a question?
Oh, is it better not be about that escape tunnel. I really do not want to hear about that.
No.
I would love to hear about it.
You're taking a note. Let's see here. A little bit more about that. Yeah. Yes. What can I?
So in
Yes,
all of the instances of Wanderers Guild members getting framed for crimes they didn't commit in the presence of an Arcane Council member, how have you guys handled all these incidents in the past?
He's just gonna pull out a book of all the
Yeah, look-
precedents of
Do you have a scroll?
Let me get the binder out. Well, I've got to admit, this really doesn't happen that often. Most wanderers help people. They don't immediately get.
We were trying to help this lady with her
we did our
necklace.
job. We did our job. We did nothing wrong.
We did do
our
the job we were assigned.
Do you agree that necklaces are not an actual helpful assignment? Delivering necklaces are. Is that what I'm hearing?
You're
And that they
supposed
should
to
never be
do what
delivered.
people ask of you. That's why they hire you.
Exactly.
We did.
Do you not think we did that?
And then you killed a lady. I mean, that.
Whoa!
Getting
You
killed
didn't kill
already.
her.
I don't know.
Whoa.
Jury's still out, guys. Escape tunnels and witness protection.
Is he our lawyer?
No,
I hope
man.
not.
My goodness. Heaven help your inquisitor.
You keep
Look,
saying
they-
Inquisitor. That sounds bad.
Let's see. You would know. You wouldn't know about inquisitors. I don't think. You're probably not hanging out in a lot of cities in your backstory. Because your like backstory is like kind of off grid, and then even when you like hung out with your other people or whatever, that was all kind of off grid. And I'm thinking, since your last part of your backstory, you just kind of went to Astralarum. So this is kind of like your first real big city in a way. You are not dumb. Like, oh, every city's like Astral. You know that this is a special city. You're not like, but you may not know the intricacies of stuff. Asuna obviously would know, and Lucarian, you would definitely know. Inquisitors are like lawyers. Generally, in other cities, there's an inquisitor for you and an inquisitor against you, generally. You can hire your own if you have the money, which is probably what Lucarian would probably done a bunch through.
Yeah, they're very easily bought. You just need to find the most expensive one, and he'll get you out of the problem.
Right, exactly. But a lot of times it's like court appointed, and they argue your case in front of a magistrate. Magistrates are like the judges. Everywhere else, except for Astralarum, well, not everywhere else, but mostly everywhere else in most cities and towns. Okay, there's a magistrate in Astralarum. You don't know this.
Arcane Council.
Obviously, Asuna knows this, but you guys don't know it's the Arcane Council. That's what their main job is, like reading onto things like this, ruling on things like this.
So the
Inquisitor?
the Archmage's man went upstairs. His barkeep went upstairs to investigate the
It
room.
was the actual. Oh yeah, go
I'm
ahead.
sorry.
No, go.
No,
It's
don't
my
ignore
mistake.
this. You have your
Are you
leaders
not
and
listening?
bar?
It
What
just-
kind of bananas place is this?
He told you he was an Inquisitor.
He's not an inquisitor either. Oh my goodness.
Wait, now I'm confused.
I'm sorry. The most powerful people in the land don't denigrate themselves, and frankly, any citizenry who would accept them denigrating themselves by keeping a bar.
I love it.
I don't understand.
I feel
what he's
like
saying.
I feel like Luke would jump into a pit if he thought it was like more highbrow than the land around it or something.
Yes, might. But he said, "Look, the person went upstairs, investigated.
Inquisitor.
We were waiting downstairs. He inquisited. He
Didn't
investigated.
inquisit. He wasn't the inquisitor. Okay, maybe he inquisited. Yes, go ahead.
He investigated the room. He said that there would be a deeper investigation later, presumably because he didn't find anything proof, because there was no proof because we didn't kill the lady. And I mean, even if we had, we would have.
Oh
way
no!
better.
Don't say that.
But
Oh my god.
look, I know how to do a criminal conspiracy. All right, if I wanted to kill someone, I wouldn't have done it where I was the only last person to see her.
Who did you?
You are making
Who
me
did you
angry,
sign
sir.
us up with?
Why is that so hard for you to understand?
So you two agree with him, ladies? You agree with criminal conspiracies, and
I don't understand what he's saying.
you're awfully quiet. Did you kill the woman?
Who are you talking to?
Asuna.
No. I wasn't there.
That's
were
not the
downstairs.
way you said that was super suspicious. You weren't there. Did you shoot her through the
I wasn't-
window?
Did I
Was it
shoot
like a
what
sniper
the-
situation, magical sniper situation?
No.
The window
No,
was
no,
open.
no.
Oh my goodness.
Oh god.
Can we talk to the helpful lady?
The helpful. Who are you
Yeah, the one
talking
in
about?
front. Can we talk to her? She seems like
Oh, now
she
she's
has a
helpful.
better grasp on
She's
Now
things.
the women are helping.
Now
I don't
she's
think Sarah-
helpful.
I don't hate Sarah enough to have her talk with you. I've got to handle this myself. You all are in trouble whether you did this or not, and you at least have to have a concise story, either of killing or not killing this woman. You understand?
The concise story is we did our job, and then the lady went poof. That's all we can tell you.
Can
'cause
we
that's all there
include
was.
I mean,
that we didn't kill her first before
She
saying we did our job?
mysteriously and suspiciously disappeared in your presence, and you were thinking that you were just going to walk out of there with
Yeah,
nothing.
I mean, I don't know what her business is. Maybe she
I
wakes
was-
up all the time. This is the Magic City.
I don't think that's going to hold up in front of the council. They
Yeah.
know
What?
it's a
Okay.
magical city.
What happens? How can we prove our innocence if she's gone? Is there any way? Are we done here?
I have, honestly, I have about 1/8 of the story from y'all, and it is not looking good.
Is there anything that we can add? Because I don't know what more. We are at a loss.
All right, I got a lot of
We-
questions.
Okay. Yes.
So, too many questions, really.
Please.
He went upstairs.
I
The
went
barkeep.
upstairs.
The barkeep.
Mhm.
The
The
Inquisitor.
most powerful barkeep in Astralarum.
I mean, yes, servants can
We
often
can-
wield outsized influence by, the good graces
You are
of the
not
king.
helping. You're gonna get yourself. Thank God these court trials don't have the accused talk.
We're going to jail, aren't we?
I have a feeling. You know about. Okay.
If you
Y'all
feel like we're going
y'all are
to jail,
from the
let's
city.
talk about these tunnels
Please.
again. Let's
Okay.
talk about these tunnels. If you're worried we're going to go to jail, let's talk about these tunnels.
I mean, if you're innocent, then the facts will prove that you did not do anything. Don't you think?
Yeah, so stop making that face.
But I can't. My face is locked in this. It's after this conversation. I'm not sure I can move my face from this for the next couple of days.
What is there to find out that they don't already know? What can we do? How can
Where
they
is she? If she ain't a dead body somewhere, she is somewhere.
How should we know?
That's what we need to find out.
What if she never
If you
returned?
find
She's not
her
very
and she's
able to march.
alive, there's nothing to accuse you of.
What if she never is found?
What if also you killed her and she's dead?
These are a lot of what ifs. You're acting like
You
we
said
need to
what can
prove our
get you off.
innocence.
I'm just saying, what if she
But we know
showed
we
up?
didn't.
Did you
Mm.
look around for her?
Where would we? Do you?
Okay,
is there a
let's-
place-
We asked Able to mark from information if he knew where
Wait.
she lived.
Oh, you went back to him. You thought he
Yeah.
had something to
So
do
we
with
made
it.
him
Yeah,
cry.
because,
Yes.
You made him cry. Oh,
We didn't make
my
him
goodness.
cry. He's a very cryy
He
person.
made himself cry. He made it.
By the
He's
divine,
a
I
weepy man.
can't believe y'all.
We can only control our own actions.
Oh, Bergam.
Look, they
Bergam,
told
Bergam,
him that his
Bergam.
necklace was suspected of murdering a woman. He started weeping, but we got his cooperation. He let us
okay,
look around his
no.
room to see if there'd been any tampering, and he even gave us
You-
a piece of the necklace to investigate.
He gave you. Okay, so Open Plume went back downstairs. The barkeep. Sorry.
Mhm.
Inquisitor.
Went
Well,
back
you can
downstairs.
just call him Open Plume. It's
Oh.
nonsense. This place doesn't make any sense, but we can agree if that's the kind of barbarian government you have here.
It'd be better if it was barbaric.
I wonder how, yeah, no, your backstory makes a lot of sense now. You're in so much trouble. It all is becoming clear. He goes, I get it. Okay, I get it. Open Plume came back downstairs.
Hmm.
He said, he told you that you didn't, what did he say to you again exactly?
He just said there was going to be an investigation and we should stay in the city.
Okay, and he told you to go investigate Able to Mark, which is why you went over there. I get it. I get
No,
it
he
now.
just
Okay,
he
so
said to
makes-
stay in the
what?
city. That's all.
he didn't what? He didn't. No. I'm pretty sure you said. Oh, hey, you wanderer guys. You're great dudes.
Hmm.
Go look at Able to Mark and see if he had anything to do with this and investigate. Right? That's what he said.
No, we were being proactive.
Yes, we were
Oh.
showing initiative.
Proactive.
Yeah, that tracks. So you took
like
on.
you said, if we found the lady, we could prove we didn't kill her. So we went to go find the lady.
So you took on and you made Abel DeMarc cry
We did not
in
make
an
him
investigation.
cry.
You were not a
We told him about.
okay, so the secret
his
tunnels
necklace.
are. Let me tell you, you have to.
We did not make him cry. We
You
told him
did
about
or
the
you did not
necklace.
make him cry.
Cried. He cried of his
cried.
own
We did
This
accord.
not-
purple-haired
make him-
lady is shaking her head. Yes, I feel like you made him cry.
He cried. We did not make him cry.
He just
He
cries
just-
on command.
He's
He
a very
just-
weepy man. You should know that about him.
Asuna and Luke, roll for deception.
I believe that he's a very weepy man. I am not deceiving. I should be rolling
You-
persuasion, sir. Oh, it's the same bonus anyway, but. Oh, shit.
Oh no.
Our first fail. I knew we would hit it. I knew it would be a deception roll.
Oh.
I knew you'd fail it. You do get our
Bonus EX
yeah, he gets our
yeah.
first one, which let's just make sure we cement this. You got it right there. Boom, baby. Look at that beautiful first one right above your head.
I'll have to look at the stream.
All right. So you just talked to him and he just started crying. I don't know if
We asked him if he knew anything about the woman, had known anything about the necklace, and we told him that there was a murder, and he was worried about being dragged out of his having to go out. He clearly doesn't like to exit his domicile.
Yes,
he started
Abel
crying.
DeMarc is a well-known agoraphobe. Why would he be worried about going out into the world?
Because we told him there were questions that needed to be answered.
Did you he's like sorry. Did you threaten Abel DeMarc? Where were you gonna drag him?
We weren't gonna drag him anywhere.
You
I would
threatened
never-
him.
I would never drag an agoraphobic man.
You just straight up threatened him.
No, we implied that he might face questioning.
Oh,
There was an implication.
the divine help me. Okay, so
Divide?
Yeah,
Divine.
How long have you lived in that
who is
world?
divine? Oh, was that you? You're that new you new recruits. Gonna be the death of me. It's really Mortal's fault. He never trains correctly.
No,
wasn't
you
in the
should really
brochure.
review. You should
It's really his
review
fault, right? It's always
performance.
somebody else's fault.
Yeah.
That's what all the new wanderers that get in trouble say.
See, there's a lot. You have a scroll.
It's only you. It's only you guys. So you went back to him and you asked him about the necklace. What did he tell you? Tell me again.
He said
You
that
threatened him a
he-
bunch.
No, he didn't.
You
threaten him a
coerced him.
bunch.
Your words, not ours.
Why are you so
Mhm.
hung up on his tears? Like,
Okay, you were
he seems like a
you were
weak-
more you were gracious and nice, and he just happened to cry.
I was trying to get ahead of this for him. I told him that we were there as his friends, and we were. We just wanted to figure out what was going on.
It was a tense situation.
Yeah.
All right,
Tensions were raised.
Mrs. Purple Hair, could you tell me what happened inside here, please? Was
She
it a
was
tense?
outside
Was it a tense? Wait,
It
did
was
he
a
just did he just say you were outside the whole time?
For most of it, yeah. She stood outside.
All
I
right,
was keeping watch.
all right. You turns to Asuna. Why don't you tell? Were you inside or outside?
I was inside.
Oh, thank goodness. Okay, tell me what happened inside.
So we went
Did you-
inside.
Did you threaten Abel DeMarc? Any of you?
No. No.
Okay. Why was he crying? Did you make him cry? Did he cry? Did he cry?
Did he cry?
cried.
Yes.
Okay, he just cried because it was just like the beauty and the wonder.
He seems to have a lot of tension
Yeah.
to let out.
It was like primal scream getting his feelings out there, and you just happened to
Like,
stumble in at the
we
wrong
had-
Let
time.
it out, you know?
Okay, all right. So he cried due to nothing of your intervention whatsoever?
I mean, we told him about that there was an investigation into one of his necklaces, and he got weepy. That's all.
I see. He was worried that he'd be implicated in your crimes. I mean, yeah, the crimes that I'm sure you all have nothing to do with.
Yeah.
Now you understand.
All right.
He's what my captain used to call a weak spine.
A weak spine. Okay. Yes. Able to mark weak spine. Okay. He started crying because he thought he might be thrown in the oubliette, right? Okay.
No, he not even that. He started crying because he was worried about going outside. I believe. I feel for the man, but
Why would he think he would be going outside?
because
don't
of the
understand.
investigation, I said there were people that were going to be investigating and asking him questions. That's all.
I think we're done having you roll deception. We're just going to assume he's already incredibly suspicious of you. We'll just go from this point forward.
Look, he
Okay, hold on. Let me talk to the lady here. You were inside. He cried because he didn't want to go outside.
Yes.
Did he say he did something to this necklace? Was he involved in sort of some conspiracy?
No.
Does he seem like he's the suspect?
No.
no, he seemed innocent.
We went in his back
After we
room
did.
in the alleyway to investigate to see if there was anything going on, and it didn't
Did
seem.
you guys find anything, something we can use to point the finger somewhere else?
Again,
We
just
found
the
part of the necklace, but it's
Mhm.
in. We have to kind of dig through it to.
You
It's a
gotta
bunch of
dig
scrap.
through a bunch of scraps.
yeah,
A bunch of scrap metal from jewelry, and I felt some some magic coming from it.
Oh,
And I was
you're
like,
you're a wizard yourself? Okay,
Mhm.
okay, that's good. We can maybe they'll take pity on you for being a wizard. All right. Finally, a tiny bit of good news. So you went through the scraps at Abel DeMark's. You didn't find
Mhm.
anything,
Mhm.
and but I assume it was some part. You said it was some part of this necklace that might have been in there. Is that what you're trying to say?
Mhm. Yeah,
Okay.
because he said he fixed there's a
Clasp.
clasp and another piece.
So there's a clasp. Okay, I get it.
Mhm.
He replaced the
Mhm.
clasp and the old. I see. It was in the box. Okay, good.
Mhm.
All right.
So
So
we might be able to divine what kind of magic enchantment was on the item.
yeah, the Arcane
I'm not doing
Council.
anything.
No, the Theurgists, the magical inquisitors that do the job. I'm sure they will be able to go over to Mr. DeMark's place and find that clasp and be able to divine what type of thing. That'll be great for y'all. They have that little bit of evidence secured and locked away. I'm good to hear that we found something.
Yeah, we have it right here, as we said.
It's locked up tight at Abel DeMark's, where it
Yeah,
should
we have-
all
we
good
have the
evidence
book.
should
He
be.
gave it to us.
He gave it to you.
Yeah, we
He
said,
gave
can
you
we take this to investigation?
He
the
gave it
clasp.
to us.
He gave you evidence in a murder mystery,
Mhm.
and he was crying.
Again,
Well,
he's
we don't
really-
know there's murder involved. It's
The
a mystery
assumption
if it's even
is
murder.
the woman disappeared, and if
What
she
if she went
disappeared,
to another dimension or something? She could have just been going on a trip.
There are wonders untold in this world.
Doesn't
You
mean
don't know where
she's
she's
dead.
going.
she
The
told
mage
she told
has
you that she was
rescued-
going somewhere. She told anybody what she was going somewhere. Did she
She
tell
didn't say
Abel
she
where she was
wasn't.
going? It really seems y'all seem real suspicious right now.
Yeah, he does
You
bring
have
up
a
a good point.
suspicious mind.
Did she leave any sort of, hey, I'm
She
gonna be
didn't-
out for the next week. You can reach me at the
She didn't have any. I'm going
elemental
out for
plane of
lunchtime.
water or something.
you're
I'm on
right.
vacation.
I didn't see a single gone fishing sign.
They didn't, so far as I understand, Divine and Tallulah didn't search her room. Why would they? You know?
Cause a woman disappeared in front of you
Yeah,
suspiciously.
hindsight is 2020, I guess.
I mean, you're here to help people. That doesn't
The
seem very
first
helpful.
the
Seems
first
like you're
thing I
looking out for
did-
yourself.
The first thing I did was tell the
That's not a good
barkeep.
look.
Yeah.
Is this how you help people?
I told the
It
barkeep.
was our first quest.
We were hired to help.
You're right.
able to
No,
market
you're
and
right.
help
First
them.
quest, don't help anybody. Don't help anybody in your first quest. That's like
Able to
fourth
market.
question on. You get a couple freebies just to like me.
We helped Able to mark admirably.
By making him cry
We
and
took care of
stealing
his
his
necklace.
stuff.
We
You
transported
stole-
his necklace. We proved that he didn't. We ascertained that he probably didn't have anything to do with it. I gave him a delicious cookie, homemade, home baked.
Wait,
Delicious.
You
We
had a
helped
cut.
him.
You gave him. You bribed him. Okay, so
I
you
don't
threatened
bribe
him. You broke into his stuff. You stole him. You bribed him.
There was no bribe. I just gave
All
him
without
he was
permission from
weeping.
the actual council member who knows y'all are involved.
Because he was weeping.
Does
I
this not
gave him a
seem?
cookie.
Does this
Why-
not seem? A
Why
little.
would we have even told this Inquisitor Council person if why would we have told him if we were guilty?
Told him what?
Why would- We told him of the lady poofing. The first thing I did was inform him of the poof.
If we-
You keep saying poof, like this lady ain't dead somewhere. She could be
How
dead.
would I know?
She
How
could
would
be
I
not
know? I
dead.
don't
Why are
know.
you
your-
assuming
I
we're
You
don't
don't
know.
know. Is she,
I don't know
do you know
these
where she
magic
is?
tricks.
Does anybody know where she
No.
is? She could be dead.
She could be not dead.
If she is, your best bet right now is two things. She is somewhere, and that where she is not dead there.
What if she is dead? Why would
It's
they,
looking
like,
real poor for you based on your
If we were
following.
going to murder someone, why would two of us stay downstairs? Why would we waltz into the Archmage's place and identify ourselves, show our badges at the door to give it to this lady? There are a million other ways we might have handled this that wouldn't put us as the immediate center of suspicion.
Who knows what happened up there? You weren't up there. These two could have went up there and killed her. Look at this one. She's so scary. She
This one
totally
bakes
probably killed
cookies, and this one weeps over cookies. Neither of them are murderers.
I haven't seen anything about cookies so far. We keep bringing up cookies.
I've heard they're very good. I gave mine away because Able to Mark was weepy, and I was feeling generous.
You made him cry and you bought his silence with a cookie. Is that what happened?
What a poisonous way of looking at the world you have.
Poison. Why'd you have to say the word poison? Did you poison the cookie now? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
I don't
All right.
have poison.
Here's what I
or
need to do.
malicious
Here's what we
intent.
need to do. I'm going to step outside. The door, it's not going to be locked. I just need a breather. I honestly need a breather. Can you just wait here for a couple minutes and we'll resume this? Talk about your options. Is that okay? No
I mean,
locking the door. Just need a minute to catch my breath.
We have nowhere else to be. You know, we gotta wait till this investigation proves what we know, that we didn't do it.
Oh, you say it so okay.
Well,
That
there's
sounds
a woman
good.
that could be in danger. How can we help her?
Oh, thank
Sure,
goodness.
that's
That was the
what it-
first. That was the first thing that sounds like your actual wanderers. She could be in a lot of trouble if you didn't kill her. Otherwise, she's dead, and then you don't have to help her.
We
which
know we didn't kill her, so we know
We-
she's in danger.
it sounds
We
like
tried to
you
find
killed
her,
her.
but
So
you're
why would you
taking-
help her?
You're taking
That's what this sounds
offense to
like.
our efforts to find her.
You accosted an old poor Mr. DeMark.
What
That
if
sounds real bad.
Mark was behind her vanishing? We needed to find out.
Why did you take? All right, all right.
Is
You're
it
making a lot of
guilty
sense.
before proven innocent here?
It
Clearly,
is. It is. You were already under suspicion, and then you doubled down on how suspicious you looked.
Is there no
clearly we should have
tampering
broken
of?
into the inn if this is the attitude we're gonna get for our
Yep,
restraint.
no,
Like,
Oh no.
I think I'm gonna step out. Y'all just need a minute to give me a minute.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, you give him a minute.
So he stands up and he walks out and he opens the door and he like looks back behind at you. As he looks back and he shakes his head and closes the door. You don't hear anything lock or whatever, but you do hear footsteps. And you guys are alone in the room together.
well, I think that went well.
If you say so.
We'll get to the bottom of this.
He thinks we're
Lordy.
guilty. Everyone thinks we're guilty.
Everyone in this city has a very suspicious mind. It can't be healthy.
I
don't know
mean,
what-
I don't
does
think we
magic
did ourselves
make
any
people-
favors.
Does it make you paranoid and suspicious? They're just throwing around murder willy-nilly. It's not our fault the lady went poof.
We probably shouldn't talk about escape routes and
It is always useful
Potentials
to
of-
know about escape routes, Devi. you're a martial person. You should know that.
We should know you never run from a fight. It's a weak
You don't
spirit.
run. It's you tactically retreat sometimes.
Absolutely not. You tactically
No,
dishonor yourself.
You tactically retreat and outflank. You maneuver. It's not a running. It's a maneuver.
No,
You sneak out of the city and sneak up behind them. Sneak up behind the city and then stab them.
That's not a warrior's creed at all. You get right up in front of the conflict and you get right up there. Even if you're steamrolled, you get steam. You don't run.
You know what? You're right, Devi. When it comes to it, you should march down to that inn and talk to the council person directly, and I'll be right there alongside you.
Devi thinks for a moment.
It's probably not the best idea.
This is a departure from your past characters. He's learning.
I don't know what else. I mean, this fellow is not very helpful at all.
Well, at least somebody's willing to listen to us. I don't know what else we need to find this lady if she's...
I mean, he's listening to us, but he's acting like we're speaking the language of the hells. Like, he doesn't understand clearly. How many times do we need to tell him that we're innocent? Sorry.
I did.
Even the dogs agree with Lucarian.
Oh, the dogs in the street, they're barking again.
They're howling.
The guardsmen are coming, clearly.
The hounds of justice are barking.
Justice.
It's nowhere safe for us. If we can't run. Can't say we have to find her.
You really don't need to worry about running. It is way easier than you might think. Do you know how to play any instruments? What's your skill set?
Do I look like I know how to play any instruments?
You look like you contain multitudes, Devi, and I would not assume what you can or cannot do.
Dang.
I don't even understand what you're saying, but
we'll work on it.
Yeah, I refuse to understand right now. Let's just try to reason. Is that what you do? Reason with this man to help us?
We've been reasoning with him for how long has it
I feel
been?
like
An hour?
Digging ourselves a hole instead of digging ourselves out of the hole.
We've told him nothing but the truth. That the lady went poof. We had nothing to do with it. We tried to investigate if Abel Damar did. He cried. It's not our fault he cried. He's a weepy man. We figured out to his benefit that he wasn't involved in it, and he gave us very generously the necklace class that we need to look into. It's all very simple from where I sit.
Well, let's just see. Maybe he has something we can... I need to do something. Like, I can't just stay here waiting. Maybe they have some other quests that suspected criminals can do while they wait their trial, or maybe there's somebody who can point us in the direction of the lady.
That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that perhaps they are aware of this wall of character and we'll have some direction to point.
Does this lady maybe she has friends? I mean, I don't know. She just, like I said, she made a lot of annoying noises. Maybe not, but maybe she has family or somebody we can talk to.
If she was staying at that inn long term, I don't know that she has anyone in this city, but perhaps someone knows of her.
Perhaps I can ask Bergam here if he knows any people who would have known her.
Or could find out.
Or do we just go... I don't know.
I mean, if nothing else, if Bergam's of no help, I think we should go back to the inn and talk to the staff, and maybe they can give us a clue, or You know, if we really need to at this point, I mean, if things are looking so dire, we should have just broken in. I really don't think if
Well,
telling
that's
the
what I'm
truth
saying.
and
It was the
being
last
proactive,
resort.
if telling the truth and being proactive is painting us into a corner, then I don't know why we're
Being
having this
proactive. Like proactive in the way of like digging your own grave, I guess.
Yeah, I don't pretend to be of the intellectual persuasion, but I don't know if I understand how doing an illegal act is going to help us here. We should avoid anything if they're watching us, these inquisitors and council weirdos.
Certainly, but we don't know if we're being watched right now. Do we?
I feel we're always being watched. I feel we need to avoid raising any extra suspicion.
Yeah.
And then let them do their thing and get the hell out of this stupid city.
With that, Bergam enters back into the room, closes the door behind him. He's like, sorry, I had to collect myself. So, as I see it, you don't have too many options. It seems like the Arcane Council is going to do their own investigation, which you helped out with, let's say. It sounds like you haven't talked to them yet, have you?
No.
How would we do that? Could we talk to them?
I'm sure they know you're wanderers. Is that why you were able to leave?
Certainly, yeah.
And they think they probably would know to find you here. So my advice is we see what they have to say. There's going to be an investigation. So if you are innocent, then they will probably try to talk to you separately and see what your story is. And I'm sure that will go terrifically. And then we can go from there. My advice to you is if you did not do anything to this woman, your best bet to earn favor is to try to help her somehow. I don't know how, if she just disappeared. I'm just as lost as you are, but trying to endear yourself to the council and the theurgist is going to be your best bet.
So so we're always open to somebody tampering with our deliveries, and if we deliver something, it could. What should we do? Is there a policy? I don't understand how this all. What are we supposed to do when we witness someone get murdered or poofed? Do we?
It sounds like you all got mixed up into something that you had no control over. It was just unfortunate, but it does happen being adventurers. You understand. It's not always, that's why it's such a lucrative profession. It's dangerous for not just the sword fighting way, but in the other ways as well. Sometimes things are just out of your control. I think the point here is that you are all dead set on washing your hands of something that you're obviously suspiciously involved in, at least to outsiders. I believe you that you didn't do anything, even though it took some deep breaths out in the hallway to get there, but it's not going to be the same for the other people that are looking for someone to point a finger at. You understand? You all are acting pretty high and mighty about this poor woman that disappeared. Did she disappear of her own volition? I hope so. We just need to get her in front of somebody, say, hey, my mistake, and then you guys are exonerated and she can be dealt with if that's what they decide to do. If she's, God's help her, she's dead somewhere, it's going to look pretty poor on you whether you did it or not at this point because of your proactiveness. You understand?
Here's the issue of what we're running into here, Bergam. You're saying that we need to try to help her, but when we try to find out information about it, it's making
Yeah,
a mess
you
of
didn't.
things.
You didn't quite. You aren't. Let's say you aren't grade A investigators. You're probably not supposed to make potential suspects cry because they might not be suspects. They're definitely not going to be on your side after that.
No, it's fine. Abel
It's a
DeMarc.
learning moment.
He's an old friend now. He'll come around.
Is,
We
is
do
like
a lot
We had a
together.
bonding
is
moment.
is Luke
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
convinced? Yeah, no, he's good. Like, is it real?
No,
Is
no,
it?
no.
or is he lying?
Lucarian doesn't think he's really a threat. Is more what it's. What
I
it
get
is.
it. All right,
doesn't
Quillam,
genuinely think
Quillam,
he's
I
a
love
friend
you.
with,
You bring such a
Abel
lovely
DeMarc.
spice to this game.
He doesn't think he's actually friends with Abel
Okay.
DeMarc. He doesn't. He thinks Abel DeMarc is a known quantity.
He's a nobody. Okay. Well, in your future dealings, make sure you're sanctioned. Yeah, it looks poor, like you're trying to hush witnesses. You understand?
No, you're trying to find out information.
All right.
Can I
Anyways,
level with you? Because the more
I wish you
I
would.
learn, the more I learn about this, the more concerned I am. for
That's
this
excellent.
woman. Because
That's
it
good.
doesn't- it seemed I don't understand your magic. This whole city is confusing. I thought people just poof. That was my understanding of magic, and they poof all the time. People poof and they don't know why they're poofing, and then they poof back. And I thought it wasn't a big deal.
I am deeply troubled on the amount of times you said poof right then. Please use a different name.
Please give me the scientific term. I
Disappeared? Suspiciously disappeared?
okay.
See, now that's a framing that I object to. I don't know why it was suspicious. The lady just poofed.
Not you
put
know. Oh
She put on the
no.
necklace
my
and she poofed.
God.
No, she poofed. All right, she poofed.
She willingly put on the necklace and she poofed.
How do you know it was willingly? You weren't upstairs.
Because neither of these two would force a random necklace on a random woman.
Because
She
you
could have been unknowing.
you are all brand new. How long have you known each other?
I know that this one bakes cookies and this one weeps over cookies.
What else do you need and
What else do you need to
Isn't that
know,
like-
right? I have a keen insight into the mortal condition, sir. And I know that neither of these people are murderers.
Well, he's right about the last part.
Wait, that
See?
you are a murderer or you aren't a murderer?
We are
Or
not.
that you like cookies.
The last part, that we are not murderers.
Recently, Divai, I'm sure you've murdered people.
That's a hell of an assumption, sir.
Yeah, you know who's murdered anybody.
I
mean, at that point, we're getting into what is the definition of murder. Like, is
Okay.
fighting in combat murder and war? Because
I
a
think
lot of adventurers are murderers under that distinction.
I think you all are just guilty of horribly representing yourselves. That's probably the crime.
Mhm.
That's the crime you all are probably most guilty of. I don't know if you guys could agree long enough to kill a woman, much less do it and get away scot-free like this.
I mean, if we did do it, we didn't get away scot-free, Bergam. Like, this is a big mess. This is a headache.
You did ask about the escape tunnel.
Why wouldn't I ask about an escape tunnel? It's always great to know that there's an escape tunnel.
Okay. Here's a little bit of advice. Don't say that to anybody outside this room.
I mean, people should always know how to get out of a situation. It doesn't matter if it's a bad situation. Everyone should have an exit plan. I don't
think he's
understand what's
saying
so challenging about
I
this.
think he's saying that we should not be discussing that in the context of.
Sure. I mean, I wouldn't want
that's been
people coming
murdered.
after me to know my escape plans. I'm not going to brag about escape tunnel.
Bergam knows.
We wouldn't want to be
But, like,
chased down the
as a-
escape tunnel.
As a matter of philosophy, I don't see any issue of having an escape tunnel or being interested in an escape tunnel. Is there an escape tunnel? How would I access it?
Is he joking? Is this a
I feel is he
sense of humor?
he is
What do we do, Bergam?
I don't know.
What do we do?
I was gonna ask you. You look like you know what's going on.
Look, Bergam, please, if you
Yes.
say that there's a way we can help this woman, we're all ears. We would
Or
love to
even
help
help.
this lady.
We'll help the barkeep. What does he need? How can we get on their good side? Who do I need to
I don't think
exert my?
that barkeep is the most powerful person in the city and condescends
Yeah.
to work at an inn. I don't think there's a reasonable side on that person. That person is clearly mad. We don't. So less we talk about the barkeep, the better.
Surely he could
Luke
use
just goes
some.
100%. There's no like 80% for Luke. It is 100% all the time. Okay. My advice to you is you're all under suspicion. They told you to stay in the city and probably wait for further instruction. Let's try to get on their good side and just take it easy tonight, not make any more old men cry, and then give them cookies. Is that doable?
So we can make
cannot.
them cry and not give them cookies?
I cannot control whether or
They're
not
two
other
separate
people cry.
causes.
Yeah.
How about no cookies, no poison cookies, and no crying? Just nothing. Just for tonight.
Look, I will happily not give anyone cookies if that's what you would like. I cannot control whether other people cry, but I can. Look, I will be charming. I will be wonderful. I will not give anyone cookies if that'll put you at ease.
He turns to Devi. He talks like he killed somebody. Do you hear this? He's talking like he killed that lady. Did he kill that lady? Did he kill that lady? And you're like his captives. And like blink 3 times if he's like abducted you.
Do you think that defense would work, but like switched around?
Oh, maybe did you kill? And these are your, and he's trying to break for. I wonder who killed. Which of y'all killed that woman? I think it's the quiet one. It's the quiet one over there.
I was blinking.
Okay, good. Oh, she wants to be freed. Save me.
I blinked 3 times.
I blinked.
I am shackled to a mad beast. Please get me out.
I believe he's doing that joking thing.
Mm-hmm.
No, escaping is not a joking matter, Devi. I mean, it really, if you haven't learned going through life that you need to always know how to get out of a situation, I don't know who can teach you that.
He's
got to be joking.
He does have a point. You guys might not do well up against the council. The good news is they're still investigating. Once you've been brought in for sentencing, they take you into they take you down to the oubliette, put you in waiting rooms. Hopefully that's it. By that point, it's too late. But right now, my suggestion to you is we wait. The fear just probably comes by since it's magical in nature. He comes by, he talks to y'all. You tell him a very shortened and truthful and not sociopathic version of the story. And try to make all your stories match.
I mean, our stories do match.
Especially this poor Qua woman. I hope she's taking really good notes because she might come back into a very intense investigation that she has no idea how to talk herself out of. Let's just hope. All right, ma'am. Hope she's got some extra cookies in there. So for the rest of the night, I suggest you stay here, get to your rooms, go get some food, and get your act together.
They want us to do nothing when... Are we sure there's not going to be any trial by combat?
I do not believe so. We do not handle that like that here in Astralarum.
Goddamn mages.
I think that's what you said last time in the last campaign you were in Astralarum. Same thing. It's the quote of this city. It's on the bumper sticker. Astralarum. Goddamn mages.
Super religious, not religious at all.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, you got to be right in the middle. So We just have to wait while this woman might be in danger.
I don't see a but. You're gonna have to let some real investigators do some investigating and not dig your any deeper in the hole you've dug yourself.
That's what I said.
That's what she said. Did you say that before?
I said we're digging ourselves a deeper hole.
See,
as
she
opposed to
said-
digging
she
ourselves
knows.
out of the hole.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
I mean, when she said it before. She said it like 5 minutes ago to Marco,
At least if we were digging, we would be doing something.
Bergam.
That's true.
All right, well, I'll
What
see
if
if I can
we-
talk to some contacts up at the tower, and maybe I can get some information about what maybe if they've uncovered anything. But I highly suggest you guys stay here and not get into any more trouble.
What if we were to shovel the dirt back into the hole?
I mean, we can just go talk to DeMarc again. We got along very well.
You know, I
don't
think
think-
you guys know what's going on better than I do. Go ahead and do what you like. I did you the honor of getting you your room keys. They're upstairs on the 3rd floor. The number's on the key. You should be able to find your rooms. If you are having help you tired and don't want to cause any more trouble in the city, fingers crossed, right? Maybe you want to do that, get some food downstairs. You could have a nice quiet night. But if not, you know how to get out there. And if you want to use the escape tunnel, there's some consequences, but we can help you with that as well.
Never run.
So how would we pull the trigger on the escape tunnel? Like,
Yeah, it sounds like escape tunnel might be a viable option. You'd say, hey, I want to use the escape tunnel. And then I go, okay, are you sure? And then you say, yeah, I'm sure that I want to use the escape tunnel. And I'm like, you'll never be allowed back in the city, most likely. And you'll be like, yeah, I don't want to be in the city. And then I'll be like, okay. And then I say, give me your Wanderers badges, because you can't be Wanderers, because we can't be complicit in helping a member that has fled the scene of a crime and are suspected of murder. And you'd be like, that's no problem. I didn't want to join your stupid guild anyway. And then you give it to me, and then we show you the tunnel, and you go down the tunnel, and you pop out of the tunnel, and you're outside the city, and then you just keep going away from the city. After that, they're probably going to look for you, and they're magical, so I wouldn't stay anywhere near here. Depending on how, if they find this woman and she is dead because you probably killed her, they're probably going to hunt you down, depending on how important this woman is. If she's important enough to get under your bad side, I'm sure she might be important enough for someone to want revenge on you. Right? Murderers, she probably used to.
She's pretty annoying.
She's pretty annoying. Yep.
But she could be in
Then-
danger.
Then you're going to be out probably outside in Exclusia, which you may or may not know is the religious outskirts of the city. I wouldn't talk to anybody out there. They're probably going to be even worse if you're actual murderers. And then just kind of secrete yourself out of the city as far as possible, and never, ever, ever come back, and always look after your shoulder. That would be the way I would handle that situation.
Okay, that's good to know.
But-
Thank you, Bergam.
You're welcome. Let's hope you're all innocent and you can enjoy the rest of your time in Astralarum.
There's no hope in Bergam. We know we're innocent.
That's what I like to hear. All right, why don't you? We've got some good.
If
There's
we
a
weren't, we would not run. But yes,
good. I like that. There's some good meal on in the mess hall, and you can find your rooms. Why don't we just sleep on it a little bit? And he kind of gets up and goes to the door, and he's like, I hope the gods help you all. I really do. He gets up and leaves the door open and walks down the hall.
Well,
could have gone worse.
yeah.
Yeah.
We live in hope, Devi. But I guess we'll go to bed for now.
I'm gonna go eat and then I'm gonna sleep.
Yeah, very good
I
point.
said there was
A
food.
long
What?
day of harassing people and breaking
What,
and
Yeah,
entering.
you gotta fill up your
when-
tummy after all
when-
that.
It's very
No.
very hunger inducing to
When
make more
Bergam
money.
says,
Takes a lot out of you.
there's good food. Like, what is his standard of
Oh
good?
my God.
Oh no.
You're saying that out loud? Everybody's listening to you. That's
No,
an action. No, it is too bad.
Is it impressive to Luke?
He's like, do you think that guy knows what good food is? Do you think it's pretty good food or not?
Does he look like he's taste?
Does he look like he has good taste?
Well, one night to find out.
All right. You guys end up shuffling out of the room, back down the hallway. And it does smell pretty delicious by the time you get back into the main room. Down another door, another hallway. It's kind of a bigger way. You can see there is a bunch of tables with stools. A couple other people are milling about. They look like there must be other members. There's like a counter, and you can kind of grab your food and a drink. It's like kind of there's like empty bowls, and you kind of walk up and or plates, and they kind of put food. There's like two guys back there. There's like stew and some sort of like foods, like fried eggs and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Roast potatoes, things like that. It's not really pick anything. It's not a restaurant, but they look at you and they're like, oh, you want stew or you want the plate? And you guys get to choose, I guess.
Well, not the worst meal I've ever eaten.
Stew
I'll have
for
the
me.
stew.
Stew. What about you,
Mhm.
lady? Stew. 4 stews.
Does the stew
What's
come
the
with
stew?
bread?
Of course it does.
Is the bread fresh?
It's freshish.
I'll have the plate.
It has stale bread. The plate's all stale bread, though.
I'll have the stew.
He hands the 3 stew bowls over to you guys, 4 stew bowls over to you guys, and you all sit down and eat. As you sit down, some of the other wanderers like mutter to each other and walk out of the mess hall, and you guys end up being alone there.
For people who would to help people, they seem really judgmental, don't you think?
I was gonna say, thank God all those people left. I don't want to deal with them. So.
This is
Yeah.
so good.
Something we can
I love
agree
this.
on.
Yeah.
You guys eat your meals. You guys end up going shambling up to your separate rooms. They're all along the
This is the
same.
second time you've said shambling. I saunter, sir.
You saunter.
Ah.
Divine marches. Asuna floats,
Yeah.
and Luke definitely saunters. He takes some detours so he can
Shambling implies
saunter
a
somewhere.
terrible
Fluidity.
posture, which is just,
That is not Luke at all. My mistake.
thank
No shambling whatsoever.
Never shambled.
Never shamble. The bumper sticker is Lucarian, never shambles. You guys get up to your rooms. They're in the same area, basically. Not like there's 2 hallways, basically the way the rooms work out, and you're not like right next to each other, but you're pretty close in your own separate rooms. The rooms are Spartan. I'm sure some of them don't have windows. There's a bed. It is not super comfortable. It's not the worst place any of you has slept, but it's not the nicest, of course. It's pretty meager and pretty small because there's got to be like 15 rooms up there or something like that.
Is there any way I could pry up like a loose floorboard or anything like that? Like any make a little nook or cranny or something, or like at the bottom of my wardrobe or underneath my bed, like pry up something that I can make a little cubby.
Yeah, you probably spent some time trying to find like the loosest of boards and you try to pull it up. There's a little bit of a noise as you start pulling the nails against it, but I'm assuming you're quiet, like kind of delicate about it, or and then you end up like popping that up. Yeah, there's like a little room, like basically a beam that you could probably put something on top of.
Okay. I'll put a few things, namely the key mold that I made earlier.
Disposing of evidence. I need to write these down. There's too
as
many,
well
too
as
many
the
crimes.
as well as something from my pack that I will put inside and then close up the
Something from your pack that you're going to tell me separately.
There's an item I keep in my pack that's wrapped up. If you may remember from my backstory.
I think I know what you're talking about. Yes.
I'm going to put that in the cubby as well and
Got it.
close it up again.
Okay. Yeah, it closes up pretty flush, and it's actually kind of a little bit underneath like a side table. So you put the side table back. It's pretty well concealed, I'd say.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
And then I will go to bed.
All right. Everybody else goes to sleep. All right, you guys go to sleep. The next day, you wake up. No, you all die in your sleep. Did I tell you about that? Did you guys?
Oh,
know
yeah.
that you did?
Abel DeMarc. He had his
Yeah,
revenge.
Couldn't trust him. Should have taken him out when we had
You
the
bastard.
chance.
Poison the stew.
It was able to mark
got
behind the counter.
scale,
All right. You all wake up to a knock on your doors separately. Knocks on the door, wakes you up, and pretty much like you all knock, and by the time you get to the door, there's nobody there. There's somebody in the hallway. It is Sarah. She says, some men came and left a note for y'all. We've got it at the front. Thank you.
That looks good.
I have some information about Rosamund Walleth you might find useful. Please come speak with me tonight at 11:30 p.m. at the Temple of Hope in the Violet Parade.
Why don't
And
you just
then-
tell us now?
All right. Let's see what we got here. Firstly, let's shake out of that. I want to know, everybody. We've got a lot of chaotic things. We've got some exploration, I'd say. I don't know about.
Make a note to apologize to Sarah. I feel like we got off on the wrong foot for some reason, but she
Do you-
seems all right.
Yeah, I think we've got. Yeah, I think maybe Bergam. Who do you like better, Bergam or Sarah? No.
I mean, Sarah understood how to help us, and Bergam seemed at a loss the whole way through. So Sarah seems definitely better at her job.
Okay. Yeah, maybe that's the case. All right. This might be a tough awards for everybody because we've got, like I said, chaotic might be issue, and we've got explorative. We did a lot of. We could call it interaction, that's for sure, but heroic might be difficult. Let's start with the easy one, chaotic. Devi, who do you think was most chaotic today?
Luke. So.
Moi?
What? Suna, what do you think was the most chaotic today?
Devi.
Devi. Oh, interesting. And Guillam, who do you think was
I
the
will
most?
unrepentantly vote for myself.
Yeah. This one seems pretty obvious to me. Explorative. Who's the most explorational? Who explored the most? Looked at stuff. Investigated stuff. Suna.
It's Luke. Yeah.
Luke. All right, Luke. Who do you think was most explorative?
I'm gonna actually say Asuna because we were both making investigation rolls at the
Mhm.
marks, but she was more willing to like go into the end and try to get into stuff than I was. So
And Devi, what do you think? Explorative.
Yeah,
Who
that's,
explored the most?
I mean, Luke went out to the alley, but then Allie wanted to break into the stuff. Yeah, he got the chaos. We'll give Asuna the explorative.
I can see that. All right. Nice. All right. We've got interactive. Who interacted with each other, like other players, in NPCs? Who was the most? There's no judgment. Just Who did the best job interacting?
Tallulah, obviously.
Tallulah, yeah, I think it's Tallulah this time.
Yeah.
I think
We'll
by
save
default
this
of
one
not
today.
digging us into a hole by virtue of not speaking.
Yeah.
Tallulah
That is-
technically-
She's actually she's probably the most destructive by not being there and letting us just go off.
Yeah, that's
She,
true.
you know what? Yeah, we're definitely going for that. And then I don't know who do you think was who was heroic?
That's
If
easy.
that- Is it easy? Is it
Yeah.
easy?
There's only one person who showed remorse unprompted, and that
If
was
only I could get
Devi.
awards. Oh,
I did threaten
Divide.
that old man pretty
I
good.
would say Devi most heroic because he threatened a lot of violence.
threatened a lot of violence.
It was very heroic.
Yeah.
Is that
that's
heroic? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes, I mean,
That's
it
the
depends
most
on who you're
heroic
threatening
thing
the
any of us
violence
have done
to.
today.
He's a pretty low bar. She's right.
It does not take much.
It doesn't take much.
All
The
right,
closest to
then.
heroic, yeah.
Definitely chaotic. Suna.
That's one for everyone.
Divine. You got heroic. All right. Then that's experience points. Guillam for Lucarian, you got 117 experience points. 117.
All right.
Suna, you got 115 experience points. And Vi, you got 113 experience points for a very hilarious episode. The morality aside, of course, that might not be.
That's
That
a
might not
separate
be-
discussion.
That is a long and separate discussion that
We're not philosophers or clerics.
True.
True.
thankfully.
Or sages. Oh, wait.
All right. And that is it. Okay, everyone. That has been a very interesting chapter of the Tales of Galaean for bees to come back to. Gosh, we miss you. Come on back. We need you. As always, I want to thank my players for their endless bravery. Bravery is definitely some well-earned recognition to our phenomenal audience. Be sure to catch our recap interview show next week with The Wanderer's Wit is going to be a really good one, I think. And don't miss our next installment of The Tales of Galaean in 2 weeks. Thank you all so much and have a great night. Thank you.
Have a great night.
All right.
The Tales of Galaean Absence. Written, edited, and performed by the Galaean. Players Ali, Bonbeesly, Guillam, and Z. Character artwork by Jade, Konechy, and Rogue Cat Designs. Music by Undocument and Kevin MacLeod. Special thanks, Penty.